right.
What the fuck?
Best intro
Worst
ever.
intro ever.
Jesus. Okay, so, Dwarves of Dharn, Moldir, session 12. When last we left, the party was standing around in the Undertaker's office, slack-jawed and stupefied as to what had just occurred.
Oh, yeah, also, what the fuck?
And also, what the fuck. Yep, so, Councilman Carruthers, who half of you were assigned to guard and protect, is now lying dead.
And who the other half actually guarded and protected.
Right? That was kind of funny. What are you rolling?
That's an 18 on the die.
I see that.
For me to yoke up the guy who's standing there alive.
The formerly dead councilman.
Two things.
I asked.
You're going to have to explain to me what yoke up means.
Snatch him up.
You're short.
Because I believe he was very, oh my god, what just happened?
Yes, he was,
I assume maybe even
he's
kneeling.
wailing
To be fair,
over the body of his dead friend.
I actually ended the last session telling the sheriff to
Yes.
take him into custody.
The sheriff could not, parade him through the town to take him back to, his office and the prison because he's dead, and it would cause public
I have an idea
scene.
on this.
We kill him.
But the Undertaker is locking him in the basement.
No, I have completely other ideas. Let me pitch this as the sheriff's still...
The sheriff
there.
is still there. He's
Right.
kind of standing a little slack-jawed himself.
Well, I would assume
Because
so.
this guy
There's a
just
lot of
came back
things.
from the dead and killed another guy, and
That's impressive for a dead guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good dead guy.
So, Sheriff, I have a suggestion, if you should so be interested.
I'll take anything at this point.
Well, due to the unique circumstances, I agree with your earlier assessment that parading the former/current councilman through the city streets is probably not the best idea. However, I believe keeping him locked up here is not a good idea either. Only because I would assume that the facilities at the jail are much more considerable and fortified.
That's true, but also they're somewhat more public. Anybody that comes into my office, and people come into my office a lot, can see who's locked up in the cells.
Right. I have an idea on all of that.
And you are not going to be permitted to disfigure his face
I wasn't
so
gonna
that
do
no
that.
one can recognize him.
I wasn't going to do that, but let's not take that off the table.
It's off the table.
I mean, let's put a pin in it.
It's
Put a pin in it through into his face.
Pin in that. Come back
Use
to
the
my
pin to
Yes.
hold a mask of somebody else over his face.
Staple it there.
Yeah,
The question is-
like Deadpool.
When compared with Figby, what is their relative build and height?
Figby is shorter. He's a little, shall we say, doughier. They're not too similar,
do that,
but
no.
they're not obnoxiously different either.
You can't put short guy clothes on a tall guy and try to pass him off as
Well, my suggestion, Sheriff, as far as logistically getting the councilman to your jail cell, it's pretty simple. I'm sure the Undertaker has a fucking bag here.
Oh.
Like a burlap
Oh,
sack.
well, yes. What dimensions would you be needing?
Big enough for him?
I walk over to the guy and put my hands around his head and go, "Baggy big?"
Oh, I'm afraid that it'll probably smell a bit like, potatoes. But
Perfect.
I do have...
So it's a bag of piss.
You can't keep this in a burlap bag.
I mean, they tried.
I believe the scent would stay in the burlap bag with this.
You're just trapping the
It's
scent.
just- right.
This is
All-
the scent. I see.
And hopefully it's a very non-diluted, like the guy is extremely dehydrated.
It's
They
that
used it
morning,
last, so it's
yeah.
that real strong. Maybe ate some asparagus too to boot.
It's good for the garden too, right
Yes.
in the morning.
Absolutely. So that would be my suggestion logistically to get him from here to there without him being noticed, because I believe that our group could escort him while him being covered, and no one would attempt to unveil the individual in our presence, because we'll do things.
Of course, you'd have to keep people out of the jail.
That's easy enough as well. I have a suggestion on that. Perhaps the madam
Wall it off.
Well, that's the second thing. Perhaps the madam over at the local House of Ill Repute would be willing to run a discount or a 2-for-1 sale to distract a lot of the locals long enough for us to build a cover over one cell so that you could not see into it other than a small section that only one of us would control, like yourself.
Well,
Like a sliding door.
that's an interesting idea, but the sort of people who come and pester me all hours of the day, I don't think that a 2-for-1 deal at the whorehouse is going to
I'm gonna go get some
dissuade
wood.
them
And then I'm just gonna take
from
off.
knocking on my door.
Oh, well, I didn't get to explain the last part of this. My suggestion was that the girls take to the streets to find the work.
Well, I mean, I'm all for, business opportunity. It's just that, you remember this morning, Liz
No, I don't.
screaming bloody murder about her husband being missing? And when I even mentioned the whorehouse tangentially, she flew off the handle into a wild tantrum.
You mean the housewife you insulted?
Yes.
Pulling no
the-
punches, Bellhand.
The very same.
Super.
Well,
She represents
the Lollipop Guild.
a
God damn it.
a rather
I couldn't help it.
significant portion of
Trunk.
the people who come
Sure.
and visit me on a daily basis.
Trunk is staring at the corpse.
Trunk.
Mute.
It's
So apparently his first
it's not
murder.
moving.
Tap. Tap, tap, tap.
What?
Trunk. I seem to recall something about
Let's just run
possible
off and grab some wood.
necromantic
Myself.
effects and commands
Screw
and
it,
such
Screw what he
being
says. We'll just,
made
let's go do it.
from a relatively close distance.
pretty
Could
quick.
you do a quick reconnoiter around the building, please?
Yes. I'll do that.
What are you having him do?
Having him look for anybody who might have issued a command or any sort of control spell, because they're somewhat close range. Cognac.
What?
Apprentice.
Roddy, at this point, his eyes get a little wide.
He wants you to grab it.
This is a 22 on my investigation.
Alright, so you are,
Move this out of the way of the microphone.
yes,
Bring it right here.
let's do that. Yoinks. You are investigating
I mean, I bring
So
it
I'm
to
gonna
share.
grab that guy.
outside of the,
Yes. Around the perimeter.
Alright. Wandering around the outside of the perimeter. Where are we? We're right here. You see two rather suspicious looking characters.
Stab first, ask questions later.
I need
That's how I do.
you to roll me a perception check.
My passive is better.
Stab them and you
It's
can
not
get
your
your fist
passive
in
because
there.
you're actually looking.
8.
8.
I rolled an 8.
Are you fisting
For an
at
8?
his chest? Yes,
You
I
can tell that they're both male.
Wow.
They are dressed in black.
And they're murderers.
Would you look at the balls on that one?
I was
They're,
gonna say,
um,
how did you tell him that?
Would you look at the butt on that?
They're giving you the
He must
side
work out.
profile.
They're standing around
That's CrossFit.
sort of in the area like between Tulip Street, the Thieves Guild barn, and the back of the Undertaker's place of business. They're trying to look nonchalant, but they're...
Show them exactly how chalant they are.
Well, let's roll a nonchalant check, shall we?
Whoa, that guy's the most chalant.
One of them is the most suspicious-looking person you've ever seen in your entire life.
Probably not gonna grab.
I
that
don't
guy.
even mask going over to them directly.
Excuse me.
It is walking with purpose.
Okay.
These boots are made for walking.
As you get closer, what are you rolling over here?
Well, that was a 5. Hopefully that'll eventually make it to grab that guy.
Oh, no, I think that was a free action, sir.
Oh, well, I'm
Unless
grabbing
you're
that
going
guy.
to do
but-
something. on the landing.
It's a grapple check.
I know,
So
but-
this was a 5.
Yeah,
and
it was
this,
a 5, and I'd only have a +3, so you know.
So a 13. Well, he's just like a regular schmo, so his CMD is
Well,
like
I'm grabbing that guy violently.
10 or
so-
11. He like squeaks when you grab him.
You pretty much give him a traumatic brain injury by grabbing him.
Well, I wouldn't have made it there with it if it was 10 or 11, so, you know, I actually needed that die.
Did. I'm taking it back now, by the
It
way.
did do.
Okay, well,
Bellhead,
it did its job, so.
It did.
the only 2 times he's looked up from just staring at this tableau was to say those 2 things to Trunk and Grognak, and then he's gone back to just sitting there.
By the way, Amherst, he's still sobbing, but it's starting to relent a little bit, and he's got the hiccups now. It really is one of the most pitiful things you've ever seen.
That ugly man crying.
Oh yeah, just horrendous. So, Trunk, you approach these 2 people. You're going to surmise as you get closer that they're not trying to look nonchalant in your direction.
Huh.
So they do one of these.
You got the chalant from the side. They were non-chalanting
So
from
it's
the front.
17 perception. Where are they trying to be chalant towards?
The healer.
So they're probably Thieves Guild guys.
Instantly,
You just stab
as you get closer, they start to look familiar. You didn't notice who they were from a distance
swear to God,
because
if one
your
of these is
perception
Rodney.
was
Rodney.
No. You remember that you told Rodney
Rodney gave
to
the
have
orders.
a couple of people go and watch the thing, and even though he's low man on the totem pole because you gave him the orders, he delegated to 2 guys that were downstairs. These are those 2 guys.
Okay.
And they're,
Why do we
standing
take
around
orders?
out there trying to look like they're
useless
working if
fucks.
anybody by the healer starts making notice. While you're out there wandering around, you see a familiar looking
Have some.
human lady making her way back, retracing the steps that you saw her take earlier.
Do I recognize the butt?
It's the same butt, yes.
Huh.
Well, now it's front butt, right?
Well, no, because she's going the... What?
Is it front butt or back
You're
butt?
okay.
Which butt?
So you are here at the Undertaker.
Uh-huh.
The guys are standing around over here. She comes this way back to Madame Aurelia's.
Oh. I'm pretty sure I know who that is.
I'm pretty sure you do too.
I didn't recognize her the first time,
Yeah.
but she had a captivating butt.
Most of the people that work there do.
You tie up?
Indeed.
All right.
So
So
I
that's
approach the
that.
fellas. You. Which face are you?
I'm Steven.
Steven. Steven, do you know who I am?
Oh, you're Mr. Trunk, sir.
Yes. Good. Steven.
Yes, sir.
You fuck.
Steven.
Yes.
Steven.
Look, I only looked at her ass for a minute, and then I was right back on the job.
Who is it?
Who is who? Oh, that
Yes.
bird? Well, that's one of the gals from Madame Aurelia's.
Yeah, I figured that.
You're wondering if I'm on
I need a report here.
a first name basis with her. Well,
I need a report here.
okay, a full report. Other than her, and she's been in there for a while, but she went not to the alchemist wagon, but into the healers, and she was in there for a little while. But other than that, there hasn't been anybody. You guys are super distracted. What the fuck are you doing?
Bellhead is catatonic. If you're asking Bellhead if you should punch the guy,
Yes.
there's no response from Bellhead.
But most important thing to take away from that was there's no objection. Like that
Right?
was.
He didn't say no.
I have to go to the temple. I'll be back.
So you're going
To
to
Dharn Moldir.
Wanders off.
the Temple of Arathis.
It's unclear.
He has
Yes,
to
I am going to the
to the
temple.
Arathis
Arathis.
Temple. Okay.
He has to go to temple, not the temple, to temple. He's Jewish.
Yeah. It turns out.
So, he
he's a
says,
rabbi.
"Well,
Oi, Moradin!
God damn it. God damn it.
we're very sorry to any of our
Yeah,
Jewish
no, it's not
listeners. It's not a thing."
No, it definitely is a thing.
You people,
That's racist.
you people have had a hard time of it. Wait, what do you mean?
You people.
What do you mean? What do you mean, you people?
All right, we digress
Yep.
from this bit of nonsense.
Constantly.
We're all real goyim here.
So he tells you that she went to the healer, and she was in there for a little while, and you know that because you've been in there
Right.
for a little while. You saw her coming, and now you're seeing her going. He tells you that
I mean, except for the shiksa.
nobody... No, we're done.
Sorry!
We're done with this.
But are we done?
We're past the line.
He tells you that other than her, nobody has gone to the healers, and the alchemist wagon, he's still in there. He's not come out. He's got the flap open so that people can come, and he has not seen anybody coming there yet.
It's not very useful.
Well, it's only been 15 minutes.
Not very useful.
Well, I can make something up if you'd like.
You don't want to do that.
Okay.
Stephen.
I?
Stephen.
I?
Trunk. Give him pats on the cheek. Steadily harder. Stephen. Back.
How?
Make sure you're useful next time.
I-
And then Trunk goes away.
You hear snickering coming from the other guy who didn't just get slapped upside the face.
This is the worst organization to work for ever.
You got to keep them on their toes.
I don't
Yeah,
like the new
yeah,
management. Rodick was never such
They're gonna form a union.
They really are.
Yeah,
And they're going to say
how
that you're
far is that gonna
racist,
go?
and they're going to be right.
Right?
Yeah, they're gonna form a union. You're gonna have to get Grognak to bust kneecaps to break that union.
I don't think he'll mind.
Grognak,
Call it a hunch.
you have,
Yoked.
you got Roddy. He
Roddy
squeaks
Piper.
when you pick him up. What do you do?
I'm gonna ask him if he did it.
Did what?
Play him like an accordion.
It.
You know,
What it? He looks desperately at the Undertaker. What does he mean?
I mean it.
Well, I didn't kill him. You saw he killed him.
I don't know what I saw. I saw things.
At this point, the Undertaker steps up and says, "Well, I know what I saw. A man what was dead half an hour ago comes back and kills the
Where'd
councilman."
the old man go?
I believe he went to temple.
Again, not the temple.
shalom.
Oi, go away.
You want to tie this guy up, or should I just carry him
I
and
was
see if he
waiting
did
for
it?
the opportunity for me to get into that.
But tie me up. Why? Why
No,
do you
no,
want
no.
to tie me up?
Shut up. Stop talking.
When he starts screaming, I'm gonna squeeze harder.
There you go. I like that idea.
His voice gets a little higher in pitch.
I'm going to ask him carefully with my elbow.
How do you ask something with your elbow?
Carefully, as I just explained. I'm going to will him to put his hands down and back in a fashion so that I can tie them. And I'm going to ask him with my elbow to his lower rib cage so that it will instinctively he'll go back and then I can grab his wrists and pull them back and tie them up with the rope that I have in my pack.
Alright, unfortunately, when you elbow him in the rib cage, instinctually, he puts his hands there
No,
and
he's
not behind you.
elbowing him in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that. Okay.
Got a
The house.
got a bow to the kidneys.
He crumples a little bit in Grogneck's grip, and he's trying to be submissive because he doesn't want you to hurt him anymore.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
But he's also super panicking.
Good, he should be.
Also, I'm
As
bear.
far as
Also,
all
I'm bear
the,
hugging him, so, you know.
for all intents and purposes, he did entirely just murder a guy right in front of law enforcement. For fuck's sake! I mean, and like 17 fucking witnesses or some nonsense, like a massive amount of people.
Wait, he didn't murder anybody.
Who are you talking about?
The guy that is standing there. I'm talking about the councilman, the former dead councilman is who I'm talking about tying up. Who are you tying up? Or wanting to
He
do?
was holding
I-
the body
I-
of the apprentice.
Yeah, no, that's not what I was going to
Okay.
All right, we got
But
a little-
I've got
Back in and
but
on
I've
up.
got 50 foot of rope. That's more than enough to tie up a couple motherfuckers.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm holding on to the apprentice.
All right,
Just
well
so
then
you're
I will
aware.
just straight tackle the other guy.
What
He
other-
doesn't even see you coming because he's still hiccuping and crying over
that's
the
a wrecking
body of his fallen friend.
Dwarves
He's-
don't even have to get low.
He's
They're
not
already low.
bottom jeans
Boots with the fur.
with the fur.
All the suspects
Best
in
one
the
yet.
town.
Best one yet.
All right.
Give yourself a round of applause.
So
I'm already inspired.
I know, so am I.
he's not fighting you,
Oh, that takes all the fun out of it.
Councilman Amherst. He's so just stricken by grief and like
And grieve and
self-loathing
there we go.
for what he has done, and he's very confused and he's very, very upset, and he allows himself to be taken into custody.
I do not do it gently.
It doesn't seem to bother
He
him.
will regret it, regardless.
He's
Do you remember that line
Roll
at
me-
300?
roll me an insight
Yeah,
check.
I was just thinking
Yes.
that. I am not your king. You will not enjoy this. This will not be over quickly.
Well, that's a 3.
You don't have a bonus to insight?
I don't know what it was. It was insight. Okay, I didn't hear that part. I was picturing the scene in that movie. I got distracted. All right. I do not have a bonus insight
Okay.
on this level.
For a 3, you don't know jack or shit.
I still think he did it. So by default, I'm being unnecessarily rough with him.
You saw him do it.
I saw him hug a guy and then a guy die. And I'm not really sure what all happened or transpired, how it happened. He just collapsed dead.
Happened
that's
a
the
little
extent
faster
of my
than
knowledge.
Jazz could keep up with.
Right, like,
but-
what the fuck? Like, I didn't
Like,
see any guns
You
or
might not have
weapons.
been actually watching them directly.
Okay, so he allows himself to be tied up. He's still just very upset.
I'm very careful around his hands because I don't know what he did to kill him. So I'm very carefully tying his hands up. And also, after I get him tied, and when I realize he's not fighting me in any capacity, I do a full pat down.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
$17.
You don't have a bonus to that either?
No.
Okay.
All of my bonuses are physical attributes.
Okay. Do you have, like, profession soldier or something
Yes,
on there?
professional soldier.
Okay. I'm going to get back to your investigation check in a moment, but roll me a profession soldier check.
I have to talk to the Thieves Guild about wearing, like, ninja costumes and trying to be inconspicuous.
Is that going to be a
What?
performance?
Because it's not a great way to
What
be
have you-
Because
inconspicuous.
it's written weird. But profession is soldier on there for me. So.
Probably dressed like real people.
It's part of your...
Just an intelligence, which is 0, I think.
Oh, excuse me. Are we going to do this again, where I sneeze through the whole session? Because I can't begin to tell you how pleased
right
I
now
am
they're
about
dressed
that
like
possibility.
cartoons.
Sure. Performance. For fuck's sake.
Look who's the bard now.
12.
Okay. For your 12,
Barbarian.
you can look at the body of Councilman Carruthers, and you know that his neck has been broken. It is definitely not coming off of his shoulders at the right angle. His head is, like, super twisted. And he died so suddenly that he still has the same expression on his face. He actually looks happy and moved by emotion because he's seeing his friend that was
That is
dead.
creepy as fuck.
Nice.
Now, for your investigation check, when you go to pat him down, you find that all of his pockets are empty. Every single one of them. Which is strange.
Someone rifled his shit.
Because, yes. That guy, right there, took everything out of his
That's why I was
pockets.
looking at you. You're the most
Yeah,
primary
you
suspect.
did. You took his pocket watch and
You
everything.
took everything.
Oh, right.
When he was...
But I mean, I'm not
When,
there.
when you
so
were
can't-
Yeah.
when you were investigating the office,
Right.
you were rifling through his shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was. I
Yep,
did.
took everything.
Totally me.
All your base are belong to us.
Also, all your hard candy. And
Yeah, all your Werther's
I meant-
originals. All your poisoned Werther's originals.
I meant to get some more this for this session. Totally forgot.
Oops.
Yup.
So anyway, he's just sitting there being pitiful. He's sitting on the floor. He's got his hands tied behind his back. And he's still just looking at the body on the floor and weeping. But now he's a little bit more quiet about it. His nose is running. He's just abjectly pitiful.
I look to the Undertaker and I give the fucking bring the bag here.
Okay. He fetches the little potato sack and brings it back to you. It's a little bit bigger than what you asked for, because potatoes tend to come in a 5-pound sack, but it's certainly big enough to go over his head.
Right, and we just roll up the little bit of the difference underneath.
Yeah, he, had to go to his, private...
Stash, right,
Yeah.
to retrieve it. So when I put it on his head, and obviously he's on the floor, so I'm standing, so for once I'm above someone physically. So I actually, with force, push it down on his head. Not enough that it would inflict any kind of serious damage, but it's uncomfortable as shit.
Who is now
Just fucked up his hair.
kneeling in front of you with zip ties around his wrist behind him with a bag on his head.
He's not kneeling. He's sitting on the floor with his legs out in front of him.
Profession soldier?
Like profession
Grogneck.
ISIS from here.
You have a sort of simpering and
Profession standard operating
really
procedure.
super terrified apprentice in your grasp.
Who has this weird dream that he got hit in the back, but suddenly he no longer thinks that
Yeah,
happened.
but now he feels better.
Wham! Psych!
That didn't happen. You're supposed to tie this guy up. Dang
Ah,
it.
yes. I go over there and I tie him up.
Okay.
Well, here, take this guy with you. And then I'm going to throw him.
I intentionally tie one of his legs to his hands. So he can't run. If we're not holding him, he can only hop like an asshole.
Sleight of hand check.
What?
That's to tie the rope.
Oh. I'm going to say, I'm not trying to steal some shit.
No. It's the most applicable thing to make sure that you're tying a halfway decent knot.
11.
You get his hands. Are you tying his hands in front of him or behind him?
Behind him, always.
Okay, and then you've actually got him bent at the knee so that his one foot is up behind him.
Mm-hmm.
You get his hands bound all right.
You buddy, look
When
like
it
Jack.
comes time to bind his knee, or bind his foot to his hands, you're having trouble with the tension, so either he's got too much slack or he's got way not enough slack and he's kicking himself in the ass, but you get him tied up to a point where he crumples to the floor for lack of being able to balance with only one foot and no hands.
Good.
Alright, now I'm going to pick up the other dead body and just take it with me.
You're taking...
The only dead body?
Yeah, the only dead body.
Oh, okay.
But
Well, I mean, it
this
is an
where
undertaker.
dead
There could
bodies
be
go.
more.
Valid point. I stand
But the only
corrected.
the only dead body in the room. I'm just gonna take that and all right. Now I'm going to find the old man. See if he can do that to this body.
To bring this one back.
Yeah. We're gonna bring this one back. He went to
The
temple, right?
Yeah, that's
All
what
right,
he
see,
said.
I'm going to temple.
the Undertaker.
Corpse
His
through a
head
fucking
is just
weekend
bouncing
at
as
Burn.
he-
By all means, the neck injury.
Okay.
It's like the last time we had a possible back injury.
Don't move. Aw.
No.
Too late.
The Undertaker tries to stop you because, just parading a dead body through the streets is not going to be...
Well, give me a cart then.
What?
That makes it worse because his head and his feet are both going to be jiggling as you're hitting all the bumps and shit. So I'm assuming there's like a cobblestone scenario going on here.
If you were taller, you could weekend at Bernie's then, but you can't do that because you're dwarfs.
Look, why don't you just leave the body here? This is where they belong, after all. And, if Belhead has gone to the Arathis Temple, it is right next door, and the clerics are more than happy to come over here. They come here quite frequently to lay blessings upon the deceased. So why don't you just leave?
Because they're not here now, they're there. So
Yes,
he needs to go
but
there.
Yes, go. Get them and bring them
All right,
here.
see you later.
Maybe they're the reason for this.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. And I'm just going to start
I'm
with
taking
He's
Trunk's
going
not
to
there to
get
accuse people of murder, so I have to do
between
that now.
you and the door. And
I am
he's
coming back.
You're right.
stopping you.
Well, in the meantime,
please,
I'm doing that for
please,
you.
please,
Right.
leave the body here. You can leave. I'm sorry. What was your name?
Don't worry about it.
You can leave. Don't worry about it here to watch it and make sure that nothing happens. But you cannot take the body out into the streets. People do not know that this man is dead yet. And when they find out that there is no council member left other than the sheriff, who at this point realizes that he's part of this conversation too, there will be pandemonium in the streets. And at this point, the sheriff says, well, actually, he does have a point. I think that we should leave the body here, go and get Belhad and the,
I think it's faster if I take the body with me, though.
faster, but not better.
That's what she said.
I correct the Undertaker and say, this one's a councilman too, and he's alive. And then I drop him.
Well,
Faster is always better.
Belhad did have a point when he said that his term as a council member ended with his demise.
But he's not demised.
He's very much alive, so
He was demised.
He was demised.
He's
But now he's alive, so...
demised.
For a full day.
That's a short.
There's
coma
no
for God's sake.
reactivation clause in the charter of Wensleydale.
So, yes, just leave.
This is the thing they don't tell you about resurrection.
Fine, here, you have the dead body.
Like-
and I'm just going to hand
So
it
does
the
he have to
sheriff.
get like a new name, new social security?
Yeah,
number?
I know. It's just like a huge nightmare. They don't tell you that about resurrection.
And then they probably want to come after you for back taxes for playing dead.
He doesn't catch very well, but
Well, I wasn't throwing it, I was just...
Well, that's the
yeah,
benefit.
he,
It clears
he
that
did
too.
a strength check and didn't really pull it off. He, crumples a little bit, goes down on one knee, and then sort of struggles back up and takes the body back into the room where the bodies are. Does not put it on the same slab that Amherst had been on. He very specifically walks around that one, picks a different one, and lays out Councilman Carruthers with the Undertaker himself coming along and fussing with the body to make it seem presentable, trying to get his head to sort of stay at an appealing angle so that it's not quite so obvious that it's just bad.
And I don't care, as soon as he takes the body, as soon as I let go of the body, I'm just going to take off running out the door to the temple.
Okay, it takes you approximately 3 seconds to get there, because it's literally right down the road.
I'm
gonna go find it.
Like you
Belhad,
blink and almost hit
when
the
you
wall.
arrived at the temple, what were you attempting to do?
I'm gonna try to get in.
Okay. The door is not locked. It is the middle of the day.
Push the door open.
Like you own the place.
Inside, there are, several clerics running around, a couple of people who look like they're probably scribes. One wearing particularly fine garb comes up to you and says, "Welcome, welcome to the Temple of Arathis. My name is Charis. How may I assist you today?"
Yes. Arathis, you say?
Yes, Arathis.
Well,
Flowy robes.
I got no
I just out of nowhere, a guy in a bear suit chasing.
problem with civilization. It's a minor cause, I suppose. No more than... What do you people do here?
Wait, I'm afraid I don't understand your question. What specifically do you mean? We exist. We promote the civilization and civilized behavior among the general populace, but also, you know,
In a town full of murderers.
Murder.
yes, that. Sadly, we haven't really been able to do much about that. We preside over the funerals of the deceased and try to give them their, you know, final blessings before they depart this world for the one beyond.
Yes. Can any of you... I don't know. I'll have to think of a way to explain this. I mean, it's not Moradin. Can any of you do gentle repose? Sort of a cessation of putrefaction.
Oh, I do have an understanding of what you mean. Let me.
You do?
Murder.
I know of the spell.
Oh, but you can't do it.
Well, let me check my my ledgers, and we'll see
Probably can't
if
do
we
it.
know anybody who can.
Yokels.
So he goes and
Not
he.
Moradin.
When you go to walk away, you should take your hammer and just bump it until it starts to glow ever so brightly. Like, oh, what's that? This is the sound of your impending doom. I come with a message. Boom.
Well, here's the sign of my god. Where's the sign of yours?
He's got a holy symbol dangling.
Yeah, but Moradin's glows.
Well, his would too.
And
if
it's
you...
a hammer.
Right?
His is
Your
not.
jewelry's cute.
The yo-yo you're wearing around your neck is cute, but
It's the symbol for Arathis is the upper half of a clockwork gear.
and that's supposed to be
Because she's
Like a half
the
cog or
goddess of
It's gnomish nonsense.
civilization and invention.
well, I guess that does sound appropriate. However,
Inventing a bunch of minor gods is what it sounds like.
you're going to invent some stuff, but not know
So
how
he
to make a
goes
city out
and
of
he looks
stone.
in a logbook, and
Curious.
Useless.
from what you can tell, it seems to have a list of all of the clerics that are currently residing at the temple, and also a list of their various talents. Ah, yes, here we are. Brother Grimbald is, I believe, the one that you would be seeking. Let me, I assume that you wish to converse with him?
Yeah, I have some questions.
At this point, Grognek arrives,
Wondering if the other...
like a hurricane.
Where's,
They wouldn't let me bring the body.
Here I am.
Oh, well, I assume...
No, that's fine.
I assumed that there would
Alright, well,
be
let's go.
a body, but...
Don't worry about
Bring this other guy back to life.
Grognak, if you could
Excuse
just
me? I think,
shut your face.
my dear friend, that you might be misunderstanding the goal to be achieved by this gentle repose, as you mentioned it. Yes?
I'm not misunderstanding. My friend is simple.
Oh, yes, I see. You know, he could actually benefit from some lessons here at the temple. We have a wonderful workshop down in the basement where we build the most
I'll
wonderful
take the
little things.
pamphlets later.
Oh, yes, I see. Brother Grimbold. Yes.
Hopefully he's not at the Wailing Wall.
He calls a...
Ex-nay on the ex-councilman way.
Councilman.
Oh, that guy!
Councilman K in Dwarvish.
I wasn't talking about
Dwarvish.
that
Why
guy.
do you bother
Latin.
to speak in Pig Latin and Dwarvish?
No, that's just to represent that it was a Dwarvish.
Yes, okay, fine. Ooh, that's a great
No,
idea.
it's never
Every
happened.
time you
No,
guys
no,
speak in
no,
Dwarvish,
no.
you guys speak in
No.
Latin.
Fuck.
I rage quit right
God
now
damn it.
because I cannot
Look
do
what
that
you've
in
done.
any meaningful capacity.
If that has to
It's
happen,
just
I am
flat
punching that freaking guy in the face right now.
Itche.
I'm about to go ape shit on this temple.
Edit gay?
Yeah, no, I'll go ape shit on the temple. The whole
So,
temple, just...
He, sort of beckons, and a very young acolyte, Step and Fetch It, comes.
Step and fetch it.
And he says, yes, would you please go and find Brother Grimbold and tell him that he has some visitors. He'll be very excited. So this young lad scurries off. You can tell by his robes that he's a very new inductee into the faith.
Yeah, he could have picked a better one, but that's fine. Grognak, we have some questions. Do you remember when I came over to the
Questions?
councilman and I did the gentle repose thing and everyone was
Yeah.
super impressed?
Yeah, that thing.
They can do it.
Yeah, okay. So, let's go do that thing. Who do I got a question, though?
Possibly the brother. We're going to see.
So, a short...
Wait, are you questioning or am I questioning?
I will question for now.
Oh,
A short while
no
later,
fun for me.
Just stand ready.
this young acolyte comes back holding the arm of an ancient human male.
You want me to
He's
just,
What is
got-
he, like 83?
you want me to
He's
just
got
pick him up?
he's got a beard that almost puts yours to shame. Almost. I mean, yours is thicker and more lustrous because you're a dwarf, but his is quite lengthy. It's also stark white and wiry.
Well, I'd be standing on it if it was any longer.
So Bellhead has girth. The human has length.
You want me to
Yes.
just carry him?
And he would have a lot
I mean,
more...
I assume you move faster than him, but...
You shave that off. We're not there yet.
He would have a lot more length if he was not so hunched over. He's got his being sort of led by this acolyte with, his one hand, and with his other hand he has a cane that he is sort of feeling the way ahead of him.
Nobody's got restoration, huh? Podunk town.
Yikes.
So, they arrive in front of you, and Charis, who you've been speaking with heretofore, says, "This, Brother Grimbold, this is, I'm so sorry. It seems that I have not acquired your name.
Bellhad.
This is Bellhad."
Iron Pick. Cleric of Moradin.
Oh, a dwarf, if my ears do not deceive me.
You are correct.
He starts to tilt his head a little bit further down. How very interesting. Haven't had a dwarf in these parts in... well, ever, really. What can I do for you?
Talk faster.
He takes his hand back from the young guy and he sort
You
of
ready to beat him up now?
balances on
No, I'm just gonna
his
go pick him up
cane.
because I think that might break him.
Pick him up
Picking
and
him
shake
up
a
will
little.
break
Yeah.
him. He's
Sneezing at him.
feeble and a half.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to pick him up.
Well,
because
young man.
he needs to go places.
Give him a little too.
A little dwarven humor. I get it. He goes to, swat the kid next to him, but the kid's moved away. And how are you, my lad? Just from, one old man to a dwarf.
By human reckoning, let's see, it would be... Of course, you don't start the years at the same... 219.
Don't forget to carry the 1.
Human calendars.
Just for pie.
Just for pie.
And divide by 3.
They tell me
No, you gotta multiply by 3.
that you are aware of a ritual that I refer to as gentle repose.
Gentle repose? Are you implying the trick that is used to keep people from decaying after they have passed on?
The very thing.
Yes, I haven't had a need to do it for quite some time.
Curious you should say that. Given the ongoing investigations and the putrefaction of several council people being a detriment to evidence.
Well, we did preside over the funerals of the deceased council members, but by that point it had been explained to us that all valuable evidence that could have been obtained from the body had already been obtained, and therefore there was no harm in laying the dead to rest. He's got a bit of a palsy in his hands while he's standing there, and the young acolyte goes to get him a chair.
Or Moradin should. That would be fucking epic.
If I had any spells left, we can maybe revisit that tomorrow. Because I'll hit him with a hammer. Hammer time.
What? Fireworks?
You gotta do it in front of the rest of the convent.
Well,
essentially, just
had to perform
shock it
a
off.
similar, well, probably the same ritual, though. Let's say a bit more traditional, anyway. Earlier, and everyone was absolutely flabbergasted. I'm just kind of wondering if you're capable of these things. Why is it you aren't
What the fuck are you doing?
more well known?
If you want to handle my dice, you just gotta ask politely.
I'm
May I?
not
Maybe a date.
Sure.
May I?
Go for it.
I'm not sure I'm understanding your question. What do you mean, more well-known? I am a cleric. Everyone here knows me. Some of the people in town know me, those who come to the temple to pay their respects to Arathis.
Well, everyone in
All
town.
due respect, I'm a
teach
person, I don't know
Sunday
you.
School.
You're a dwarf, you're not people. You don't want to be people.
Everyone in town seemed to be absolutely taken aback by anything I did.
Well,
Now, granted, it is going to be a little bit more powerful coming from Moradin, but
now, let's not have any punches thrown from one deep
What, throw
to
punches?
another.
He just goes into
Phrasing.
no disrespect to Arathis and all of that civilization-y business, but, I mean, it's
It is true that
a different level.
that sort of thing is not really so much in our purview, as we are more concerned with the betterment of society and civilization and invention. He sort of trails off. As you can tell, he's gotten distracted and forgotten his original point.
Very good. Well,
But I don't understand why doing basic spells should make one well known. But as I mentioned,
maybe you're
it's
not doing them right.
been a very long time since I've had any call to cast this particular ritual. I believe the last time was about 47 years ago.
42.
What were the, out of idle curiosity, what were the circumstances surrounding that occasion?
Oh, it was a most dreadful thing. Some wandering vagabond had come into town and kidnapped a child. The child was recovered and he was perfectly fine, but his father was unfortunately killed in the attempt to save the youngster. While his wife was out of town, she was unreachable for weeks, and we couldn't bury the husband without the wife to be there, so we kept his body from putrefying.
Sad circumstances. I'm guessing that resurrection is beyond...
It's beyond most, but those who are capable of it tend not to do it. It is not for the betterment of civilization to have a bunch of undead wandering around. That's not undead. That sounds like necromancy to me.
Not to what I am referring, but that's neither here nor there. Necromancy. Interesting that you bring that up.
We don't go in for any of that sort of thing here. You'll have to go someplace else if that's what you're interested in.
I'm not interested in any necromancy, except for... Technically, Gentle Repose is a necromantic spell, I will remind you.
Yes, but the type of spell, yes, it uses some necromantic energy, but we look at it as more of a repelling of necromantic energy. Anything that is dead has necromantic energy to it.
Well, I mean, any way to justify it, that's fine. I don't get bogged down in any of that. Not for at least 115 years or so.
Dead may never die.
Great. This is not... We're not doing a drown god. We're not adding a third deity. Anyway, Arathis, I have a baseline knowledge. As a cleric of Arathis, do you have a confidentiality kind of... You hold secrets to be...
Duplicitous.
If you had a bit of information, you were sworn to secrecy.
We respect the privacy of the community, and of course we don't blab.
I figured you were an upstanding order, of course. I just wanted to check, being a little hazy on the specifics of this particular sect. Cult, whatever.
Are they like pews, just about?
Do you actually say that?
No. No. I do in Dwarvish. So I might have a job for you, as I am a little tapped out for the day. You know, the conduit wears a little thin sometimes. We'll have to get some rest in.
Oh, I hear you.
So,
As an aside, since this guy hasn't done it for like 60 years, shouldn't he be like 60 times more powerful with this one spell? Right? Like he does Gentle Repose and bam, the guy's back to
it
life.
doesn't add up.
That's why people think that that's how that works.
Needless to say, it is a sensitive job, and we would have to insist on that aforementioned secrecy.
Oh, certainly.
Or accidents.
Very good. Okay.
Secrecy, or grog deck happens.
Yes.
He just smiles. It's like
But
watching a dwarf
back
smile.
on the topic of necromancy.
He scowls.
Yes, certainly. A deplorable art.
In walks Trunk.
Though it does seem to be...
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
Trunk's here.
Though
Hey, guys.
certain aspects, and of course you will realize that this
Hey,
is privileged
that guy.
information, certain aspects of it
Yeah.
seem to be being practiced
Also, where's that stuff
recently.
you owe me?
Have you heard any rumors along those lines? I'm assuming your order fights
Bang.
necromancy wherever
I
it
remember.
rears its ugly head. Have you had
Oh,
any
yeah.
difficulty recently?
Didn't we already do that?
We have
No.
not heard of anything of any such kind. That's
Nope.
dreadful. Here in Wensleydale, you say. He looks at the
Watch you take it.
Yeah, not necessarily.
think I liked it better when you were sitting over there, because it's really hard to do anything with you in my ear.
Now you gotta get super awkwardly close. And just
And
whisper.
get Haymaker right in the face.
Right in the jugular. Go for the jugular.
So what was going on now?
I asked him if he had any rumors. He was like, "Oh, here in Wensleydale, that's terrible."
No, he's definitely not heard
I mean,
anything
not necessarily in Wensleydale. It just in our travels, certain things have smacked of it.
Well, travels, people hear things on travels, but Wensleydale is hardly a tourist area. We don't get too many travellers from other lands. Of course, the refugees from Eldergrove notwithstanding.
Question, additionally, Gentle Repose, you say you remember that ritual. Detect poison and disease, is that...
Oh, that's something that we have used occasionally. Much more recently, certainly.
So you say you've done this on presumably the councilman's case.
Well, Councilman...
Amherst or the previous?
No, it wasn't Amherst. That just happened, and I had heard that someone else had taken care of that sort of thing, and I guess that must have been you.
Well, we knocked it out of the park, as per usual.
Yes, Councilman Collingway. He was poisoned, most certainly.
Wait, no, that wasn't the most recent.
Could you describe your findings on that poisoning?
Well, I was not the one who presided over that particular thing. Charis! Charis, come here, please. The other guy...
Pamphleteer.
There's a reason that he's on the front door.
He's the peddler.
He comes back over... yes, Brother Grimbold, how may I be of assistance?
Kill yourself.
This...
You start cracking my knuckles.
We want to do an experiment.
This-
We're going to poison you.
This kind cleric here, he wishes to know what the findings were in regards to the poisoning of Councilman Collingway, if you could assist.
Specific impressions on your detection?
Oh, well, he had certainly been poisoned. It seemed to have been delivered to him in his food. I'm switching voices right now, but this is the other guy talking. Yes, it was in his food, and now detect.
I'm just trying to remind you of your voice.
I have to sit up straight to do this voice. I have to hunch over to do
Yes.
the other one. Remind me what detect poison is supposed to do. How?
Everything.
And everything.
You get it's a detect poison and disease. It's a twofer,
Okay.
and you get the presence and location of poisons. Like if you were just
But
doing
you don't know what they are.
Hold on. I've read one sentence out of the paragraph.
All right.
So, like you were just finding it. Poisonous creatures and diseases within 30 feet of you. You also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case.
Okay.
Spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by a foot of stone or 1 inch of common metal.
Well, his poison had been delivered to him in his food, and we were able to ascertain that it was a biological, sort of botanical poison.
So if I said nightshade and foxglove to you...
That would sound very familiar. How did you know that? Well, of course you were involved in...
There we
Councilman
go, he's
Amherst.
catching on. Now, if I said necrotic acid to you...
He stares at you perfectly blankly. That certainly doesn't sound good, but it also doesn't sound familiar.
24 insight.
He has no idea what you're talking about.
What about the old man?
The old man, as soon as you say the word necrotic, he
We get it. He doesn't
very
want to.
upset.
Yeah.
He's not a fan of this necromancy thing that you keep bringing up.
All right, well, that's neither here nor there.
He acts
Idle
like-
question.
He acts like you're the one fucking just doing it in front of him or something.
Rise, my skeleton minions!
Jesus, guys.
That was spectacular.
Trying to find out if we could get your attention just by staring at you.
Yes.
Did you feel it?
Okay.
I felt it. It was uncomfortable.
So I'm going to
You should.
thank Mr. Airy for his testimony.
Airy?
Wait, who's
the
Harry?
The
Charis?
Airy guy. Charis, yeah. Was there any element of the poison that you couldn't quite nail down other than the botanical elements?
Oh no, it was certainly very clear. We don't usually get aspects of that sort of thing around here. In fact, the last time we had someone who had been accidentally murdered, obviously it was an accident. We don't really get that sort of thing around here very often. It had been unfortunately some poison that had been set aside for rats, and the person was a little addled by drink, and it was a most unfortunate case, but clearly
How does someone
self-inflicted.
get
That was
accidentally
about
murdered?
3 years ago.
I don't understand this. Isn't
Well, it wasn't so much a murder as an accidental suicide.
okay? So why are you showing?
Guy
me
was
that
setting out to murder a
I was
guy,
trying to look at the colors.
and then another guy got there, and he got murdered instead. Accidental murder. Anyway. So I'm going to thank him. I'm going to call brother what's-his-face over to the Undertaker's if he could spare the time.
But you gotta call
The old guy?
brother.
The old
what-
guy.
You gotta
I'm just
call
gonna
him.
go pick him up.
But you gotta call him brother. What's his face?
Brother what's-his-face.
I'm just gonna pick the old guy up.
Brother.
Just
What's
walk
his
him out the
face?
door.
If
Yeah,
you
you're
would.
coming with me.
He's very unhappy with it.
I don't
Yeah,
think
well, it's
you
faster
should
this way.
probably
It's faster this way. It's faster this way.
just hold on.
What's your
asking
fucking
you-
hurry? Like, we can just cut to the part where the guy got there. You don't have to play this in real
In
time.
character, he can't cut though.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, what is the hurry? Just chill.
Have
My
you met
character's
Grogneck?
You're gonna
character-
break the
Everything
poor
is
old
too
man.
slow for Grogneck all the time.
Alright. You just hold on, it's over before you know it.
That's what she said. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, it is, like, right next door. It doesn't take very long.
Next time
But-
I'm gonna cast Brain.
Brother Grimbald arrives at the Undertaker with you.
Show him to the back.
You're gonna have to guide him. He is blind.
Hence the show him.
Yes.
Well, would you have to guide him? I mean, I thought he was being carried unwillingly by this one.
No, I thought
Yeah.
that we decided that was not happening.
No, that was totally happening.
Yeah, no, I was definitely going to carry him.
Everyone was against it except Grogneck.
Since he had hands on.
Who is in a sugar rush hyper? That's you know. All
You're
the
not
honey
gonna try and stop this?
I mean,
all the
I
honey
tried.
this morning.
I
but-
tried to stop this.
Did you?
I said you probably don't. And then I
That
told
was the same level of trying when you tried to keep the one councilman from going to the other one.
checked out. I just asked a lot of real questions, and
Done. Done for the day.
so the back here, it's just down here.
So,
And Ragnar, if you could just wait a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna go into the Undertaker's.
Yes.
I'm going to look at the Undertaker. Who else is here? He's here.
He's there, and
I'm there
The
with a bunch
Undertaker's there.
of tied up people.
the sheriff is...
Several people are tied up.
Yeah, Roddy is tied up.
Okay.
What's-his-face, the councilman Amherst is tied up, and the sheriff is just sort of standing around asking Roddy questions. With probably some help from Jazz.
In the interest of discretion, no one is to mention Figbeak's Carruthers' name in this room while the cleric of the temple next door is performing his ritual.
On that note, Father, perhaps.
The man is blind.
Right, but we can't control what this one, and I point to the undead councilman, what he will or will not do, and if the cleric would recognize the man's voice. So, perhaps we should remove him from this location.
Very good point.
Blind or otherwise. Got ears like a fucking bat. Can hear anything.
Yeah, well, you know what they say, that when one sense goes, the other ones get stronger,
heightened,
so...
Isn't true, but...
No, it's not.
But that's what they say.
It is what they say.
So, on that note, I
Only use 10% of your butt.
Yes, you were going to tell me what that was for.
I rolled a 20 for persuasion. My intention was to persuade the sheriff to allow us to immediately remove both individuals, the formerly dead councilman who is tied and the other apprentice who is tied, and get them into the jail immediately, as quickly as possible.
He is all for that plan, but considering the sort of tied up state that both of them are currently in, it's probably going to take more than just the two of you to do it.
Is there a back? Can you go out the back
You
when
came
I'm
in the
with the
back.
guy in the front?
You came in the back. That's what you said. I don't know if that's what you meant, but that's what
There
you
is a
No,
back.
I mean, I was leading the guy into the back, but I didn't do that yet.
That's fine. I can take
If you go out the back and we come in the front...
I can
it's
take him wherever the dead man is, if that's where you're not taking the cleric.
The cleric's going to the dead man, is my point.
Oh, and because he's blind, he won't know who he is.
Exactly.
What if he starts talking?
That's why you were going
The
after
dead guy?
Yeah. 60 years overpowered repose. I'm sticking on this, okay?
That's not how any of this works!
I don't understand your
he's not-
sorcery business.
He's not been leveling up lately.
I did this 60 years ago, too!
The old guy has not been leveling up lately.
Oh,
He's not really getting the XP.
okay. Fair enough.
Alright, so
Been letting them young whippersnappers earn their keep.
he
And my flavor
recommends-
text is I'm remembering what I used to have.
Yeah. So the sheriff recommends taking them one at a time and asks you which one you think is going to be more trouble, and we'll take that one first.
Well, I would say that if the clergyman has ever been in here before, he will without a doubt recognize the apprentice's voice. However, it wouldn't be out of the norm to hear his voice here.
I don't think he's going to recognize the apprentice because the apprentice has been an apprentice for a half an hour.
Yeah, he started this
Exactly
morning.
as long as the guy came back to life, which is why
That's
we're
not
beating
true.
the shit out of him.
That's not true. He has been an apprentice for a
Slightly
couple of hours longer than
than
the
Ambrose
guy
has been alive.
came back from the dead.
Which is why we're beating the shit out of him.
Oh, I thought we were just doing it for kicks.
No, just because he's Johnny, the most suspicious person in the world.
All right. Well, I do that thing where I explain with my persuasion
Yes.
that we need to move both of them as quickly as possible, and I will get one of the others of my group, probably Trunk, to assist me since Grogneck is helping.
Trunk went over there too.
Right, but he came back with the group.
Grogneck
Did you
also came back with the
No,
group.
Right, but he's carrying the other clergyman.
he's emptying the temple, I'm guessing.
Robbing him blind, sniffing flowers with one hand and
The
nose.
thing is, he's going to rob the temple and then give it back to them.
As a donation?
Yeah.
Does that get you good marks in
Who knows? We'll find out.
the deity's favor?
We'll find out.
Trunkhood.
Well, wait. I
returning
mean,
lost
he's
property.
stealing from a different deity, and then he should go give it back to his deity. So then,
Well, I don't have...
Well, that's called winning, not
I mean-
having a deity.
well, then
I've been talking to you
aren't
about the
wait,
good
wait,
news
wait.
of our Lord and
Well,
Savior
that's what those
Moldir.
Hey,
still
right.
with them for.
Aren't
We've been
you-
talking.
Aren't you your deity then?
Well,
So then, wouldn't you just be giving the money to yourself?
I'm talking. Somebody's listening, but it's not Morden.
Well, I mean, you're listening.
I hear the Cthulhu's realm is nice this time of year.
Nope.
It's a little too tentacle rapey for me.
not a thing.
A little too much Japanese anime for
Right.
it.
Cthulhu doesn't listen to anybody.
I'm not kawaii enough for Cthulhu.
Nice.
So anyway,
Kawaii.
Trump,
Yep.
you said you didn't go back to the Undertaker. What are you doing?
I am having a nice little chat with the folks in the temple.
Okay.
With pamphlet.
Asking if they know of any places locally or nearby that are more less good inclined in a religious manner.
Chara still stares at you blankly.
Any evil deities, cults, necromancers? What you got?
When comprehension dawns, he gives you a dark look.
It's for the investigation.
Indeed.
Dark luck. Yeah, exactly.
Somebody
that.
brought that man back to life.
Well,
It sure shit wasn't Morgan. It wasn't one of you assholes.
what?
Johnny, drop all the bombs nobody was telling anybody about.
I didn't say who.
We didn't say anybody had been brought back to life.
Well, I did.
That was a better level of secrecy.
Well, I did.
It's
Also,
it's a definitive notice that he was one step away from that. I mean,
We figured you said
you
it
just
was
you plowed dick first into it, so there's
Right?
that.
You know, there's that plan that I'm ignoring.
yes,
He forgot the
You
plan.
should change that flavor text to steps on own dick.
Well, it is swinging kind of low.
Oh dear God! Oh,
My
let's
own-
take a turn.
My own swinging cod.
Well,
You do indeed step on your.
something about somebody having come back from the dead. Charis studies you closely. He's trying to ascertain if you're just fucking with him. When he decides that you're being perfectly honest, his eyes get real big. And he looks around and sort of hustles you off into a more private corner. Did you say that someone had come back from the dead?
Yes.
Well, that's certainly necromancy.
And then immediately murdered somebody.
Oh my gosh! In the name of Arathis, what sort of uncivilized cretin could do such a thing?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Well, that's certainly not something that is in our purview.
Well, do you
That's
know
dreadful.
of anything nearby?
There's nothing in Wensleydale. This is where I've grown up.
Clearly there is. Somebody's using necrotic acid to murder people.
That's the
bring people
second time
back
that
to
I've heard
life.
reference to this necrotic acid, and I have absolutely no idea what it is.
It's some kind of alchemical thing that kills people. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. I tried questioning the alchemist, but he was kind of cagey.
Well, it seems to me that alchemists are usually rather cagey.
Can't trust any of them. You know, I heard there was this elf. Especially suspicious. That's a different story, though.
Was it a green elf or a purple elf?
It's an elf. You can't tell them apart.
They all look the same.
Right?
Those two in particular.
all their leprosy and whatnot.
Leprosy and tiny penises. Well, basically, like,
Useless.
if there's something going on in Wensleydale, he has not heard of it. This is the first he's hearing of all of this. Now, obviously, he knows that the councilmen have been killed because they go and, do the last rites and all of that at the funerals. But he doesn't know anything about any possible necromancy. It's not made it to him until, you.
I didn't tell him who came back. I just... somebody.
Yes, but
Keeping it vague.
I mean, the fact that there are
Somebody who
necromantic...
recently died.
I didn't say recently.
The fact that there are necromantic happenings in town, this is news to him that has not... he had not been made aware of it until now. What happened to my leftovers from the restaurant?
Okay. So, no use at all.
Still in the car?
Awesome.
It's an empty box.
Well, since that's the dead end, it's something entirely unrelated to this. Trunk regales the guy with his recent dreams.
Okay, these are things that I have not heard. I, as a DM, I never got really any of the specifics of the dreams that you were supposedly having.
Bunch of hellscapes, demons, making lots of promises. They're all kind of vague about it. Suffice to say, they want an exchange. Like my soul for their power.
That, my dear lad, is never a good bargain to make. You should still be in possession of your soul at all times. It is really better that way.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if I can use that power against them. There's a storm brewing outside.
I noticed. It's
That sounds
really
like it.
friggin' raining out there.
Alright, so yeah.
It's like a reeking ball.
I mean, if I could use that power against them, wouldn't that be for the better?
I don't think that if they really believed that you could use it against them, I don't think they would have offered it to you in the first place.
Well, I mean, maybe they don't know.
I feel like they probably know.
I am sneaky.
I don't know that you're that sneaky. They have been in your brain. Oh. All right. Well, he's just horrified
Nice.
at everything that you're telling him, and he is recommending very strongly against it.
So you're saying I should? Okay.
Should
Thank you.
keep your soul.
No, I'll commune with the demons more. Thank you. I appreciate the advice.
He
And
throws
trophies.
up his hand and just leaves, thoroughly exasperated. He leaves before you do.
Well, that's a first.
Hearts and minds.
Well, I really want my leftovers out of the car, but it's pouring down rain.
That it is.
The game. You can't be eating now anyway.
Alright, so. Where are you going?
Back to the Undertaker stuff.
Okay, when you
Finally.
get to the Undertakers, you are, press ganged into service by Jez Gruley,
God
who,
damn it.
and the sheriff, who need your help transporting the current prisoners, back to the jail.
Hoods on their faces.
Just the one.
Yeah, he's wearing a potato sack. And has been for a while now.
And ironically, has yet to complain about it verbally, at least.
He's not said one word. He's still
And we all know it's not pleasant.
sniffling and
Piss bags really are.
potatoes.
Piss bag.
Not piss.
Piss bag.
Piss-tato.
Piss-tatoes, yes.
Piss embalmed. Huh? Because it's an Undertaker. Huh?
No.
Gross. Embalmed
Get
potatoes.
With urine, no less.
Alright. So, Jazz and Trunk, you make your way down the road to where the prison is.
Prison. They really updated. Got a lot of people incarcerated.
Well, it's the sheriff's office, but it's got cells in it. He puts them in separate cells just in case Amherst has another murderous impulse, so he doesn't kill Roddy.
Well, I mean, what if we really lost there? I
And
mean,
he
And
tells
we would know he was innocent.
Roddy that
copious
he's
the
in
bad
for
thing.
questioning and not to panic, but we need to ask you some questions, but it's going to be a little while before we are able to ask you some questions.
So I use this opportunity now that he's in the cell. I remove the robe from the apprentice entirely.
Okay.
However, I do not remove the bindings on the councilman or the potato sack at all. And I encourage the sheriff to leave it be until we get the wall up that would disguise him. Perhaps also gagging him would be helpful so that he cannot speak.
At this point, the councilman speaks up for the first time that you've heard him speak since the act.
Immediately, hands go to waist. Head cocks.
I assure you that won't be necessary. I'm not going to cause any more trouble. I will gladly take whatever punishment is coming to me. What else could be deserved of a person who could murder their best friend?
Why are you talking? This is why we need to gag him. That's exactly how Jasker reacts. Just irritated, like, he's proving my fucking point. Why are we having this conversation with the fucking dead man? Shut up, you're dead in there!
With this, the sheriff says, well, I think that might be overstepping just a little bit. But I will lock the door to my office. Put up my out to lunch sign.
About your lock, perhaps we should find you some better ones. Like a nice big thick padlock.
Do you think you can do that in the next 2 minutes?
Trunk, old buddy, old pal. Do you think some of your associates might be able to find us a lock that might even be more difficult than the average Joe to pick?
Check out this motherfucker.
Check out this motherfucker.
You eyeballing me, boy?
You actually spoke to me. You son of a bitch. No, I'll see what I can do.
Alright, delightful. Yeah, I think we should be able to get that accommodated.
Wait, trunk checks the cells. Are any of them in here?
Any of what?
Any of the thieves' guilds?
No. The cells,
Okay.
the cells were empty until they weren't.
I mean, they're so good at it that you would think there would be a few.
Because now one of them
inhabitants.
has Amherst in it, and the other one has Roddy in it.
Rowdy.
Goddamn Roddy.
There are actually 3 cells. The one closest, over in the corner is where the councilman is, and then the one on the far side, the outside, there's an empty cell between them.
Which is usually where the drunk deputy sleeps during the day.
I need to find Staniel.
And
trunk leaves.
Smoke bomb.
Smoke box.
Then he's still standing there.
And then I want to go out.
This guy in the theatrics, I tell you.
Yup. Alright. So you leave.
It's totally normal. It's the theatrics.
Grogneck and Belhad.
Everyone should.
You are at the Undertaker.
They clear out the backside. We
clear
come
out.
in the front
Bring guy in
side.
yet?
We go in, do the thing.
Ooh, taking guy in.
It was almost a 19, and then it wasn't.
I was rolling to remember if I told Grogneck when he was finished to bring the wood here to the jail so we could board this shit up. And apparently, I don't fucking remember.
You
if
don't
I did
know
or
if
not.
you did or you didn't.
Like, damn it.
Just jail the thing up with coffin lids.
And of course, they're not even like
I don't
uniformed.
think
It's
I don't think I
fucking
remember
dumb.
you telling me whether or not,
Yeah.
so...
We're going to say you probably did not.
Well, we had discussed
In that
it,
case.
but it didn't
But
go.
it-
It
I
did
don't-
not
Then
go
it
very
never,
far.
it never
Nothing
like came to fruition.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
Stop using my words.
Get out of my brain.
Over here, just there you go.
Okay. And this is the corpse in question?
Yes.
All right. He feels his way around.
Oh, that's his dick.
Watch them hands.
He places one hand on the
This is
chest
not
and another hand on the abdomen,
It's not
and he
so-
starts chanting the holy symbol on the chain around his neck begins to glow, and shortly thereafter... You're such a jerk!
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah,
As soon as he starts chanting, I'm just going to walk out and be like,
blah, Arathis. Well, then I can't.
I'm going places.
Yeah, so he does the thing, and he says, there, that ought to do it. That'll keep him for quite some time, and of course, if you need a reboot, I am available. You know where to find me.
Oh, thank you.
Unless I die, I am very old.
Saying it to the guy double his age.
Dwarf, though.
I know. Still.
I gotta see that,
Try using that.
I'll see about that tomorrow. I'm not killing you.
As an
You
aside,
understand?
What does gentle repose do to a non-dead person?
It has, I believe, no effect.
There should be some kind of zany sideball. Like just some random.
What, you turn into a Catskills comedian?
I
What?
don't know.
Your cells continue to multiply, but they stop dying off. And then you explode.
And you're immortal
You
until you're
explode
not.
as cancer.
It causes cancer.
It gives you cancer.
It gives you cancer.
That explains everything.
Just like being subject to too many regeneration spells.
What?
Just regen someone to death.
Alright. So that's done. What you gonna do now?
Well, I'm gonna see him back to his temple, so he's
Okay.
out of the way. Maybe we should make some tea, Grognak.
Yeah, no, I literally left.
Where,
After,
The hell?
where did you go? Because I missed that too.
I said I was leaving after he started doing his whole chanting thing. I'm just like, yeah, I'm leaving.
Where did you go?
I was just going to I was going to go walk to the jail cell.
So I guess I wander over to the middle of the town. Like, I wander out the door.
Okay.
No one is there.
Nope.
The Undertaker should be the only person
Trunk,
there.
you went off to find Stan.
Staniel.
He's at his usual spot.
By the fountain.
Yep.
I stress that no
It's
one
actually-
is to know about
yeah.
any of this to the
Statue
Undertaker. Hold off on... Sorry. Hold off on the apprentice thing. For just a little bit.
Retirement was in view. I was looking forward to my new lease on life that you had given me, and I'm very, very appreciative, but, well, I
Well, if the
need
boy-
someone to take over.
If the boy isn't an evil necromancer, we'll return him to you.
He didn't seem evil. He's one of the refugees from Eldergrove. He's been fairly desperate for work since he arrived in town here. He was only too overjoyed to answer my requirement for an undertaking assistant
You have any idea when he showed up in town?
right after the massacre of Eldergrove, along with everyone else.
So what you're saying is, you have an out-of-work necromancer looking for work. That's my thought process.
After he massacred everyone in Eldergrove.
I may have
For the orcs.
I may
No
have
less.
And
missed
distilled their corpses down to necrotic acid.
Nice.
I may have
He's
missed
still prime suspect.
Shut up and let me finish my sentence.
No.
I may have misspoken a second ago. It was not a couple of weeks ago. You guys, the issue with the water when Aldergrove was sacked, it was less than a week ago. Probably been 5 days at this point.
It's been 1 week.
Get out.
Seriously? We love BNL.
Do we know?
We do.
Staniel.
So if no one is around,
Yeah.
Bellhead is going to wander into the empty streets and
Well-
then just sort of wander over to the tavern.
Walk outside, do a perception check.
I mean, can I perceive?
You hear an owl.
Apparently not.
Is it me or does it seem like the father has like
12.
lost his will to
Way
live
under
at this
my-
point? Like he's
Well-
really given up.
Because you're, like,
I think the only perception that I would be doing at this point is passive. So 15. I'm not looking for anything.
well,
What you called for is a passive perception check.
I thought you were looking
I was
for
looking
your party
for the
members.
group, that's true. But that's kind of like a...
Haphazard.
Well,
Whatevs.
You're coming out of the Undertaker here.
Mm-hmm.
The statue of Lord Marone is here.
Mm-hmm.
Staniel and Trunk are there. It's just a question of whether or not you saw them, or maybe
Already?
they're on the other side of the statue from you.
Alright, well then I got a 12.
Okay.
What?
Don't squish my sesame
Jesus,
sticks.
dude.
Nothing, I was going for snacks.
Uh-huh.
Alright,
Like a heart attack.
so
We're still on you, jerk off.
well, we're getting to you, so
Yeah, I know.
don't go back to sleep on me here.
I'm not. I'm listening.
Uh-huh.
I'm using the theater of my mind.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
You're
The
in
theater of your mind
palace.
should snore less.
The seats in the theater of your mind are awfully sticky, buddy.
Good.
Wow.
My mind palace needs terrible renovations.
This
That's all I'm
digress.
saying.
Yikes.
This is degenerated horribly.
Yep.
You're welcome.
So, Bellhead, you see Stan out there. You may or may not recognize him. He's talking to someone.
That's a guy I healed.
Did you?
Staniel?
I don't think that's the same guy.
Wasn't he? No. Okay.
No.
Do I even know Stan then?
You might not know Stan.
Okay. So there's a guy I don't know talking to someone I can't see.
Yes.
Great. I go to the tavern.
Ignore
right.
it all together.
Do you look behind you at all while you go to the tavern?
Why would I do that?
I don't
I don't do
Who
that.
does?
Trunk,
Yeah.
you're talking to Stan.
Hey, Stan.
Hey, Mr. Trunk.
So, got a couple of questions.
Sure.
What around here is evil? There's been a lot of...
Well, they're putting in a Walmart.
There's been
Stop
a
eating.
lot of necromancy around here lately.
Necromancy.
Oh yeah, people coming back from the dead and people killing people. I need to know who's doing that.
Well, I'll have the boys keep their ears to the ground, but
I've got some of them already. Are you Doug?
he's mad at me because I took the sesame sticks away from him, but I got him for trail mix and he's eaten them all.
I've got some of the boys watching The Alchemist currently
Alright.
because he knew about necro.
What's going on right now?
The fuckery.
Oh dear. I've got some of the boys watching the Alchemist. He knew about necrotic acid, so he's a suspect.
Alright.
They're keeping tabs of who's coming and going for him. I need to know if somebody came into town in the last couple of weeks.
Well, lots
Who practices
of people came to town in the last couple of weeks. We
these
got
dark arts.
all of the people from Aldergrove.
So we're thinking it might have been somebody from there.
I suppose anything is possible.
Is there a place in town where the Aldergrovians kind of congregate?
Well,
Like a ghetto?
Yeah.
Like a tent city?
Yeah.
In the ghetto.
well,
Yeah.
Ghetto.
Mumbai. Like,
some of them.
It's in one of the other districts. District 9.
9.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh,
Some of them
get out.
had family or friends here in Wensleydale that they've been staying with. But for the most part, they all ended up in boarding houses over on the lowlands because, well, they need somewhere to sleep. But there's not a lot of jobs available in town. I hear they're all hurting, except for that blacksmith bloke.
Well, we helped him. Because he helped us.
Yes.
Keep that in mind.
Yes.
People who help us get helped.
We even had one fella come and try to join the Thieves Guild. He was so desperate, but he wasn't cut out for it.
Really? Who is that?
He's some butler chap, just way too proper.
Did you get a name?
Oh, he had a ridiculous name. It was
Most of them do.
Mauritius, Mortimer.
Is this a familiar name?
Yes.
Okay. Staniel. Thank you. Thank you, Staniel.
It should be a familiar name because you already knew about this.
I did?
Yeah.
He didn't give you any new information at all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot about it.
Mortimer Jorgenstern, who has since gone missing. He was desperate for work after having left the employ of Councilman Carruthers because he was terrified. And
Brothers fired him.
yeah, Carruthers fired him because the council members kept dying. And so, he came to town, got a job, lost the job, couldn't find another one.
The fuck are you staring at me for?
The fucking chairs are so noisy. You guys are the worst.
That's it. No chairs next session.
You have to stand.
Like in tandem.
But yeah, I believe it
A bunch of frogs in here.
might have been,
I know, the necromancers are in the swamp.
There we go.
On their lily pads and such.
Exactly where they're hiding.
yeah,
Excelsior.
one of the guys that you
Stop
talked
having
to,
to
it might have been Rodney, did mention that some guy came and wanted in the Thieves Guild, but he didn't really look the part at all and couldn't really do anything.
Interesting. Oh,
That was him.
I almost forgot. I need a lock.
What?
I need a very good lock.
Let's see what we got.
One that would be difficult for us to pick.
Ooh, tall order.
I need it for the sheriff.
Oh,
Well,
I hate to say it, but I need it for the sheriff for the time being.
well, I'll see what we got.
it's not like it's anything really of value in having it, for fuck's sake. I mean, not monetarily.
I mean, we can always take it back. It's just sort of
Get in
short.
there and fuck with his paperwork every now and again.
Shambles.
You can keep a key. I mean,
Yeah.
Right?
it's actually the best scenario, is having the sheriff lock things with your lock.
Right?
So he'll scuttle off back to the Thieves Guild.
Good.
He'll come back with a rather large, heavy
Oof.
padlock.
It's got some heft to it.
It does. You could probably club somebody to death with it.
I'm thinking about it.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna club some frogs.
So, yeah, he comes back with a lock and says, This is a loner? Okay.
You got a key for it.
The key is with it.
You have a spare key.
Well, no, it didn't come with a spare.
Well,
Should take a mold.
When we
Yeah.
stole it.
well, stand here. Trunk takes the key out. Make a mold.
He
Looks confused.
gets a bar of soap out of the haversack on his back.
Carves a gun and breaks out the prisoners. Fuck, Daniel!
Entirely possible. Do I have something?
You should have soap in your kit.
On a rope.
What kit?
Your fucking kit.
What kit?
The kit that's in your inventory.
The adventurers come up with soap. I don't know if dwarves
What
use
kit?
soap. I think they might use Swedish underarm crystals.
Himalayan.
That doesn't make any sense. As a matter of fact, I was just looking at that earlier at the inventory, and I thought, wow, none of us have bathed in God knows how long at this point. Like, that's something we should probably, like,
Well, I mean,
Could have
Metagame.
done. You stayed at the
only some of us have been rolling around in shit. Meaning everyone but Trunk.
I have
was
not been in
Bellhead
any
rolling
shit.
around in shit.
You guys
in
were crawling
in the,
through that tunnel. There was shit
with
in
the
that
rat
tunnel.
shit. Yeah.
And
Well-
you were confined with the stink weasel stick.
That's true. And to boot, I was also running through one of the local whores.
That too. So you got the crotch right on top of it.
You know,
All right.
caves, damn lousy with them.
Yikes.
That's a crab
That was
joke.
almost a 20. It was almost a 20, but then it turned into a 7. He makes a somewhat okay looking print of the key.
What is he rolling for that?
He is rolling a sleight of hand check.
No crap.
That is a 20.
Okay, so you
Look,
take
Daniel,
take
this
his bar
is
of
how
soap,
you do it.
turn it over to the other
God
side,
damn it.
and carve an absolutely perfect key.
Jesus, Daniel.
He looks at you in awe.
Am I gonna
He's
have to
never
promote Rodney?
seen such deft work.
You need to make sure you shave off the wrong side so that he doesn't fuck this up still.
Right.
Because there's still a 50-50 chance he's going to mess this up.
Daniel, at this point, I'm gonna promote Rodney. Okay?
You're doing a piss poor job.
Quit fucking up.
Well, he taps his pocket, and you hear a very hefty jingle. We each have our strong points.
Well, Rodney has fucked up less at this point. Keep that in mind.
He
Anyway.
looks miffed.
Time for that protection money that he owes you. Tink, tink.
Well, make a copy of the key. Make a copy of the key so that we have a copy of it. Okay? That way we have a copy of the key to the lock in the sheriff's office.
Yes.
Interesting. So,
There you go.
he gives
Give him a pat
you...
on the ass. Alright, on your
He
way.
gives you the lock and the original key. He takes his soap and goes off to do who knows what with
Good
it.
game.
Good game. Make a sleight of hand check.
Yeah. Well, this one just rolled a 20, so. It's an 18 sleight of hand. Did he roll another 1?
He rolled a 2.
So that jingling, he was jostling.
He didn't roll a 1 the first time. He rolled a 7.
Well, still. It's not a 20 or a 13.
Yes.
So that jingle, he was jostling.
Yep.
That's mine now.
I figured as much.
What was he jingling?
He was jingling. You get 8 gold coins, 13 silver coins, and about 23 copper coins.
That was 8 gold.
13 silver, 23 copper. He's been busy today.
Well, at least somebody in this party is getting money.
I'm in the money.
You gotta shake it at him now.
No. That's for another time.
Alright, so
That's when I need a point made.
he goes off to do your bidding. You have a big, heavy lock
And his purse.
in his purse. But that's a secret. Alright, so you go presumably to the sheriff.
Yep.
He's sort of standing guard outside to make sure that nobody comes in. And you can put the lock on the door, give him the key. What are you going to do now?
My first inclination is to go to the poor district.
Okay.
Or the what's-her-face district.
The lowlands.
The lowlands.
Okay.
But I suppose I should tell other people first.
Yes, tell the other people.
To make sure that if I die there, they know.
Alright. Jazz, what did you just roll?
I rolled a 9 to see if I could tell if someone was locking me inside the jail.
I didn't know you were still in there. Yes, they
Because
were.
Blank.
all I seen was the sheriff walk outside. I didn't know what he was doing. And now apparently it's being padlocked from the outside.
Alright, I didn't
Did you
know.
do nothing with the apprentice this whole time, though?
Well, he was just in the cell and the other one was over here. And I'm just standing there fucking waiting on someone else from our group to come give me some information. And
That's what I was coming to do.
All right, you
And
were.
where were you?
You calm the hell down.
I would love to.
All right, you were just alone.
Well, I had just
In a
left
cell.
from, there.
No, I'm just
but
standing
after
as a
there
they
suspect.
started
like in
doing that
the
whole
lobby.
ceremony
Yeah.
thing, I left and was walking to the jail.
Okay. You arrive at the jail before Trunk does.
Yeah, if I need to tell somebody where I'm going to be, Jazz is as good as anyone.
Yeah.
And I guess Grog.
But you don't necessarily know that I'm locked in the thing.
Well-
potentially.
Well, I know
I-
you're still there.
I
Right.
didn't know
I
you were
assume
in
you-
there. I thought you had left when the sheriff did.
No.
He
think
wouldn't.
Bellhead.
He wouldn't have locked you in.
Bellhead is the only
Well, I
one
wouldn't
that knows
assume
where
the
about-
He
sheriff
would
would
have
have
opened
seen
the
it.
door and
Somehow.
said, "The lock is here.
Somehow Bellhead's
We're
a squirrely one.
getting out of here." Grogneck, you arrive at the jail. Jazz Grewley is standing around. What are you doing in there, Jazz? You talking to Roddy? What are you doing?
I am very, very irritable, but I am asking the apprentice appropriate questions for an interrogation.
Okay.
However, it's less impactful as I don't have the key to get in there with him. So it's just, I'm just kind of yelling at him from outside.
Where are they?
It's not as effective. But I believe he's intimidated enough that he's like standing on the other side away from me. It's like I
Roll
can't.
an intimidation check with advantage.
I rolled 5 twice!
It
How
landed in the
the fuck
same
does
place,
that happen? So that's a 10.
even! Okay.
So he's standing right up against the bar with you.
Yeah. He's just like trying to kiss me.
You're making smoochy faces.
He's
Yeah, sweetheart.
he's not
Now
really,
that everyone's gone, we can be here. And then just grab and slam him into the bars.
he's not really intimidated.
Good. Now
He's-
I need to do
It started to sink in that he's like, for all intents and purposes, seemingly under arrest for now.
Yes. Definitely being detained against his will, I would
And
assume.
at least he's expecting like regular meals,
Yeah.
which
3 hots
is
and a cod.
better than what he had previously.
So, as I'm talking to him and I see that he's not understanding that I want him to be afraid of me. What I want him to do is be afraid. That's not working. So, being the
Grogneck, you've arrived.
skilled individual that I am, as we are talking,
This is going to go so poorly.
everything's going to die.
Watch your surge.
I pull from my pack my actual my tackle gear,
Okay.
and I pull out a hook. I pull out the line,
Okay.
and I hook it to the end of my javelin.
You have a javelin?
Yes,
Okay.
I got it from the orcs. Remember?
Right. Yes, I thought you were channeling Turkar for a moment.
No.
Why are you? What are you doing?
Good, you're here. Where were
The
you?
sheriff is going to stop you from doing
He's
whatever.
outside.
He hasn't gone outside yet.
You went too far backwards.
Uh-oh, puppies.
Got at it.
All right, so I'm gonna go get those things.
Yes, you
do
go
that.
and get those things. You pass Trunk on your way. Bzzzt. So,
I get to the sheriff.
you get to the sheriff. The sheriff is standing outside. The sheriff will lean back in and say, "All right, we got a lock. If you don't want to be stuck in here, you may as well come out now."
Peace, fuckers. I say Dwarvish.
Jazz.
Peace among worlds.
Jazz.
Trunk.
Jazz.
Trunk.
Jazz.
Trunk.
How's it going?
Trunk! It goes well.
Interesting. So, I'm not getting a whole lot of leads.
Did you get a lock? Because that's what I sent you for.
Well, yeah, it's the lock.
Oh,
That's the lock.
Thunk is the lock
job.
being.
You see this lock?
No, I didn't.
I got a lock.
That is
Is
a
a
lock.
rather impressive specimen of a lock.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. I'm not one of your flunky assholes. You don't treat me like that. I will murder you.
Jazz.
All right.
Smack. I don't.
Well,
Barbarian rage immediately.
So, Jonas agrees to, come back and sort of build the wall.
Delightful.
But you do understand that him building that wall, he will end up at least somewhat in the confidence, knowing that there's somebody in the jail that other people aren't supposed to know about.
That's all right. He's a refugee. He was an outsider to begin with in
He
this
was.
neighborhood.
He was.
So I feel like we have more of his confidence than anyone else probably would.
And also, he basically owes you his livelihood.
Right.
No, what he does owe us is Grogneck back those fucking dwarven tools. That's what he does owe us. the prize for the thing on the longest day in history.
I thought we gave them to him.
We did. That was the prize for winning it.
Give them to him. So, like, you're gonna take them back now? That's
Gonna
kind
be
of
dwarven givers? That's not cool.
Well, no. I mean, the theory is he owes us, right? And that's the thing. It's a favor for a favor. He already owed us, so I feel like him doing this kind of somewhat squares us a little bit too.
Sure. Cool.
So.
So
Although,
My theory was
to be fair,
so, you know.
the original bargain was for him to get in touch with the druid,
Right,
to save your dwarven civilization from death of thirst.
Yeah, but that's when he had us over a barrel.
yeah. And now we're in
And the
control
fact
of it.
that we didn't kill him after that is the favor
Well,
we're talking about now.
You definitely sort of went above and beyond what he had even dared to hope for. So yes, he's still in a generous mood where you guys are
I
concerned.
mean, he took payment, the king's payment.
Yeah.
I mean,
got
his
paid for what we
his
wanted.
cut. I mean, and plus, then we got him the job.
Yes, which is why he's still, willing to do whatever you guys need to do.
And it's just light carpentry, for God's sake.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
he
like
is-
we're asking a lot
And
here.
he was going to be a carpenter as
Right.
a backup to blacksmithing if
And it
it
ain't gotta
came
be
down
pretty.
to that. So,
Just gonna not be see-through, which
yeah.
I
So
hope you
he
humans can do.
doesn't ask any questions. He definitely has sort of a curious expression on his face when you guys let him in, but he goes in, and very shortly thereafter you hear the sounds of sawing and hammering and a wall being built.
Delightful.
The sheriff says that he is going to stay here and sort of keep an eye on that until the job is complete, and then he will lock up and go on about his business, and that you guys are welcome to do whatever you want to do now.
I love that he gave us permission to do what we wanted to do. That's so helpful. Thank you.
So
Yes,
the three of you are together. Belhad, you are at the tavern. What you up to?
Getting some soup.
Probably.
I am going to order some soup, and I'm going to stare at that soup.
Okay.
Because you need to eat, and you haven't eaten in quite some time.
Yeah.
The steam
It's been
smells
since breakfast.
good.
I'm going to stare at that soup for a while.
Yep.
And I'm going to think, well, if I'm going to eat it, I had better do it while it's hot. I have to brew up another batch of soup. Brew. Then I'm going to order some hot water
Okay.
and a cup.
Okay. It comes out.
I'm going to add some poison tea
Why would you do that?
to that cup of hot water.
Okay.
And I'll brew me up a cup of poison tea.
Okay. It smells like normal tea. You don't notice anything different about it versus what you would expect the tea to be like if it hadn't been tampered with.
Okay.
You gotta gain an immunity to it somehow.
So I'm going to drink that? No.
Ingestion's the easiest method.
Like, look, I know dwarves are supposed to be, hardy, and I wouldn't recommend this.
And then I'm going to leave my soup there on the table
Uh-huh.
and leave with my cup of tea and go back to the Undertaker's.
Okay.
Actually, on second thought, midway to the Undertaker's, why don't we get a detour to the jail?
Okay. The jail is across the street from the tavern, so it's a fairly easy jaunt for you.
Does anybody who's passing him see a mildly confused old dwarf, like
Just wandering
giving
around
second thought to what he's
with
doing?
a cup of tea. So you guys Are you still at the jail, or have you departed?
Well, I assume this was happening.
He's been
while
staring
the
at that
three of
soup
us were
for
there.
a while.
Well, right, but this all took some time. I assume it was real time, 15, 20 minutes for you to get to the lock, have the conversation, for you to get back with what's his nuts and the stuff.
Well,
Oh, right,
to be
that's-
fair, that was happening while he was still with the cleric.
Oh, that's true.
And then
I
he
forgot
took the
about
cleric
that.
back
Yeah.
to the temple and went from there to the...
Then
thing.
I would say probably not, because my intention was once he said he was just the sheriff's going to stay, he's going to stay there, we would have left. There's other things to be tended to.
Yes.
Yeah, I tell him about the or trying to find some kind of necromantic connection in the town, and that it might have come from the what's its town,
Eldergrove.
Aldergrove, the former Aldergrovians.
And where... Oh, well, hang on. Let's go ask. And we go ask the blacksmith if he
Okay.
knows where the rest of the people are hanging out. And since he was a native of that town, he might know people.
They're on the low side.
That's where they're at now, but he might know someone who... He might know the old land gossip.
Okay,
The old town gossip.
good point. Let's do that thing.
Okay.
Since he just, right there.
Right.
So, you are asking Jonas...
So is
You
your-
look so
is-
happy to be toddling along with your cup of tea.
Is your hammer just like floating with you? Or what? Because, I mean, you got two hands on the cup.
And a thing on the belt.
You got a satchel or something?
They got a
Well-
ring that goes on the...
There you go.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's like... It's
So it's dragging
one of
the
those-
ground?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, at least we'll know where he's been.
Yes.
So, you are asking Jonas if he knows of anybody that was involved. For fuck's sake!
No, we wanted to ask him about
In
necromancy.
Yeah.
any necromantic activity from Eldergrove.
Yes, not in the...
Or who the newest people to Aldergrove were.
Well, he can tell you that there was a group of young kids, not like young from his perspective, but they were, teenagers, that seemed to be into some less than desirable hobbies.
Youth.
For a 12, do I know enough about Kincaid to get a vibe of his moral standings? When he says less desirable, am I able to kind of hone in and kind of really know what he's talking about? Other than just it's less than perfect.
So was a
Goth
12
kids.
your insight check?
Yes.
Okay. For a 12, you know enough about Kincaid from your, albeit limited, but your exposure to him, that he's a fairly, down-to-earth, wholesome man. He works for a living, earns money, hopes to probably settle down someday, and it's just... He's a sort of normal person that doesn't make waves.
He's an average blue-collar kind of guy.
Yes. And when he says less desirable, you know that he is referring to... You don't know what specifically he is referring to, but you know that it is something that is out of the ordinary and maybe something that might leave a bad taste in the mouths of,
General
common,
folk. Right.
Yeah. John Q. Public.
Hipsters. And their kombucha.
Seriously.
So, you arrive with a cup of tea. There is a wall being built.
Well, it's happening. He's kind of sitting there yapping with us at the moment. But
I walk over to the
He's trying to
narwhal cell.
multitask. There are two. One of them is occupied, one of them
the
is
one
not.
that was occupied.
Yeah.
Would you like some tea?
Nice.
Wait, who?
He's trying to get
Tarati.
the apprentice to drink the tea.
Made it from list 10. Seems to be pretty good.
Oh, one of my favorite kinds. Thank you. You know, no one has been even slightly hospitable to me, and I've done absolutely nothing wrong. Thank you so much. Thank you. He takes the tea.
No.
No?
As he reaches for it, I just pour it out.
It's a gesture, and it's also an information gathering tool.
Sorry about that.
The most exasperated sigh. And also,
I sneezed on it.
go ahead and roll an insight check.
What would be really bad is if you hear from the cell with half a wall, tea, you say? Like, no, fucker. You don't do well with the tea, remember?
Well,
This is your tea.
you rolled a
shit.
1,
I did.
and your insight
Wait, are we still there?
is...
Yeah, we're having a conversation with the blacksmith
7.
7?
about
Alright.
the unwanteds.
Even
This
for an
town.
8,
He's guilty.
the look on his face
The basket
says
of
that he
deplorables.
really expected better from you. Like, everybody else has been kind of kicking him around. He really thought that you were the one that wouldn't be an
Oh,
asshole.
that's
Roddy.
disappointment. That's hard.
Roddy.
Yes.
And I point to the puddle of tea on the floor.
Okay. The floor is made of stone. It doesn't really seem to be having too much of an effect
There
on the
should
stone.
be This should be dust comprised of
Roll a
human skin that should be... Something should be sizzling here.
dexterity check. Not a saving throw, just a check.
What was your drink container made of?
I don't know. Like a glass or something? I don't know.
Well, I was just
It was-
curious.
It was like ceramic, sort of a...
I just didn't know if it was like a wooden kind of muggy type thing.
Dexterity check.
I just made a word.
Yeah.
Muggy.
So that's
I think that
15.
was already
Okay.
a word.
Yeah. That's...
Well, yeah, it's a word,
For a
but
15,
not for what I was using it for.
You get some of it on...
Like, it's muggy outside, and that's a mug.
Because did you have your arm through the bars, or was he reaching through the
No,
bars
he would
to
have been
come to
reaching
you?
through. I'm not going
Okay.
to stick my hand through the bars.
You crazy?
All right.
Not at 219.
Well, there's a couple of ways that we could do this. If he's reaching through for it, you could pour it and get some of it on him.
Achoo.
I do not wish to get some of it on him. I want it to sizzle on the floor.
There's nothing on the floor to sizzle.
It's gotta be somewhat filthy in here.
You could cut your finger open and drip blood into the puddle.
If it's not sizzling, fine.
It's not sizzling. It doesn't seem to have any effect on
Dust.
stone.
Dust
and
is
stuff.
comprised 90% of human skin.
That's gross.
Drip.
It bubbles and hisses and steams, and there's a smell that is not only unappealing but also unwholesome.
That's because it's dwarven blood.
Roddy is super concerned. He steps back from the bars.
He's less likely to take any tea that anyone offers.
Right. I will never drink tea again. What the fuck?
Well, on the list of questions we have for you, that one is at least in your favor.
He's so confused, but also slightly horrified. He just goes and sits back down in his corner and stares at you, waiting to see what you'll do next.
I walk out. I go back to the tavern.
Okay.
And I get another hot cup of water. And I make more tea. Because I realized, damn, I shouldn't have poured it out. Should have just yanked it back from it.
You could get hot water from not the tavern.
Okay. I get hot
so
water
you know.
from the coffee maker at the jail cell.
There you
The
go.
Keurig.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And
Wow.
I put the poison pod
There you go.
in. Yeah.
The Dunkin' Donuts.
Hey, wait, let me get the other one first.
All right.
Don't
I'll
forget
get
to
coffee.
And then I go over to the Undertaker's.
Don't forget to run it empty for a couple of cycles just to clear it out.
So, the three of you, did you stick around for this display?
We were talking with the blacksmith and gathered whatever information he had about any of the particular people that were living in the town before they came here.
Okay.
And then after he provided us that information, we would have made haste to their area.
Okay.
On second thought,
On the ghettos?
soon after leaving the jail with my newly brewed cup of tea and headed over to the Undertaker, I turn around again confusedly in the middle of the street and head back to the jail.
Okay. You're back in the jail again.
Roddy.
Is it more horrible tea?
Well, yeah.
Well, yes, but
I don't want any.
that's a good choice. You said it was your favorite type of tea.
Well,
Presumably not the kind that eats through floors.
no, it doesn't usually do that. Then again, I've never bled into it before. I usually just drink it.
Yes, this is probably slightly different than the stuff you usually get. My question is, when was the last time you purchased this tea and from whom?
Well, tea is a commodity that I have not had the spare fundage for. The last time I purchased it was from the little shop in Aldergrove, where I used to live. It burned to the ground when the orcs came.
Right. Sort of common variety of tea. Aldergrove specific.
Oh, no, certainly not specific to Aldergrove. I understand that they sell it here in Wensleydale. I just haven't had the money to be able to buy it. It's sort of a luxury item that I can live without.
Well, that's a shame. You're coming up sort of entirely useless.
He scowls a little bit.
Have you done any window shopping for tea recently? You know, maybe wistfully desiring it.
Well, on the list of things that I have not been able to afford of late, tea, while on the list, it's not particularly high. Well, like new boots, very, very high on my list. And you can see the boots that he's wearing. They really were not meant for walking. You're going to assume by his clothing. Now, I believe that he was going to be getting new clothes from the Undertaker when he started working there, but his clothing looks fairly nice. It's a little worn, and it doesn't fit him very well, and you're going to guess that it was probably purchased for him secondhand. But the boots are just fallen apart and terrible.
And still not made for
like
walking.
they at one point were sort of like fancy, gentlemen's shoes. And then in the 2-day trek from Aldergrove, they really...
First off, a man comes back to life with murderous intention that he's unaware of himself. Basically, about 5 minutes after you show up.
Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration. I had been out digging his grave for some time this morning. But I will grant you it is an uncommon coincidence, although, really, any time someone comes back from the dead, anything surrounding that could look coincidental. It's not something that happens every day.
No. I just thought, perhaps, no matter what, you deserved an explanation.
Well, I appreciate that. It's certainly more than anybody else has offered me.
And then I walk out.
I'd shake my fist in argument, but I'm not there.
Alright.
And then I go to the Undertaker's. For realsies this time.
Alright. So we're gonna take a pause on you for a moment.
Take a pause on you.
The three of you You arrive in Cheapside.
Take a pause on you! Take a pause on me.
You arrive in the Lowlands.
Goddamn white people.
You start, presumably, asking questions. I need to know the nature of questions that you are asking of the people around.
Did What's-His-Face identify anyone specific?
He will have given you, like, the first names
Teens.
of a couple of teenage boys. Excuse me.
We can have the severed pinky guys look for them.
Yeah, do that. We'll cause a ruckus, though, in the meantime, to hopefully put enough pressure on them that they will leave and seek each other out to try to talk about what's going on.
I got an idea. I'm going to run around asking everybody if they practice dark magic.
That's a terrible idea.
No, that's a valid point. Here's
It
why.
works for the father.
Here's why. Yeah, there's a different reason it works for him, though. Get your guys on the job. Once they're here, we will intentionally not disguise why we're here. We will start asking very loud, obvious questions about necromancy and anyone who might dabble in the dark arts, specifically to get these people to be uncomfortable, put a little pressure on them so that they will seek counsel with each other in a group that your guys witness them all gathering together. They come tell us, then we go beat the shit out of those people.
Dude, that's an even better idea. I was just going to run around.
I don't know about beating them up. I mean,
I was just going to find somebody to punch.
They've made the father unhappy. And now asses need to be beaten.
I kind of want to chat with them.
Have you seen how Crest fallen?
Well, hey, you can chat with him and I'll chat with him, only I'm going to chat with him my way and you chat. Well, you can try to chat your way.
Alright, well, you guys start drumming up.
Trunk's
I'll
way
go
is
get
nothing
some of
but emoticons.
the stinky digit guys.
Well, we'll have to play it
What the
low.
fuck is their name?
Shattered Fist!
There we go. Don't know. Severed pinky.
Busted lumps.
Stinky digit. What cover band is that?
Oh my
Stinky
god!
digit man.
It's probably Smashing Pumpkins.
I know. It feels like.
Are you still inspired?
Or no, it's the Five Finger Death Punch cover band.
Oh,
Stinky Digit.
Are you still inspired?
Yeah.
I can't give you another one.
God damn it.
I was gonna say that it was. We'll give him the big one.
No, that's for
not
storage.
what that's
She
for.
won't upgrade.
That's for a story thing.
That is not what that is for.
Bum bum
Not just for
ba
being a
da
goof.
It's just being a goof.
Yeah, you get the green ones for making me laugh. You get the white ones for doing something awesome.
So yeah, that's my suggestion. However, if you're
We
going to
never-
go do that, we will have to keep it low key as best as possible
Until we get back.
until your guys are in place. Otherwise, it'll be
Good luck with that.
completely pointless.
Oh, so I shouldn't run up to the first guy I see?
No. I have a different.
Because I was going to totally do that.
I have a different plan.
Grog, don't be you for a few minutes. Okay?
See if you
What, be
can-
me?
Don't be you.
Oh.
Keep the fire snakes.
So run up to the first guy that I see and talk, not
Be anyone
smash.
else.
No, don't.
Be anyone else.
So smash, don't talk.
Don't
Literally
do
anyone
things.
else.
Think Bellhead.
Talk, don't smash.
Be Belad for a little bit.
Which is it? Talk, don't smash, or smash, don't talk?
Don't talk, don't smash. Don't
It
fucking
doesn't
move.
work either way.
His brain's gonna explode.
Just take a nap.
There is
Meditate.
There is a third cell.
That's actually a perfect idea.
Meditate for
It's a perfect idea. We will wait on the outskirts of the area. It's some. I'm assuming there's some like a brook or a river bank or some other nonsense.
It's a brook and a babble.
I mean-
Blah, blah, blah.
You can.
Well, I'm just saying there's some like water source because it's what, afternoon.
Minus
Yeah.
gerbils.
Yeah.
Okay, for a 10, is there any area that looks off the beaten path a little bit, but not like heinously way out of the way, where him and I can just sit and it's not really going to necessarily draw attention on it? There's just two fucking dwarves sitting out next to the water.
Yeah, there's there's like a little
Hey, mind your business.
there's this stream that goes by heading toward like where most of the farming and stuff is done.
So they
There's
pounded it
a
too?
fallen tree that you guys can sit on and just
That was it.
chill.
You said it. He
Did it, though?
He made the inappropriate gestures. Yes. Anyhow, so yes, I suggest to Grogneck that we go over there and we can wait. I will fish while you meditate, and we will wait for Trunk's return. So I pull back out my javelin and my fishing tackle, and I get my shit together, and I am attempting to
So
fish.
while he's doing that, I'm going to break straight sticks off of the tree and try to throw them at fish in the water.
But you need to be actually regaining your point things. That's the whole point of the meditation.
Yeah.
And plus, you don't break shit.
I think he may have.
I'm
Short
good.
rest or long rest?
I'm good.
Is anybody like,
I'm good.
down
So-
any HP?
You don't understand.
I can't have more than I have.
I know that, but
We need you not doing stuff for a little bit.
So for a 19, can I convince him that he still needs to meditate even though he knows he doesn't?
No, you're totally exhausted. You need... Trust me, I know.
How are you
That's
on
a pretty hard sell.
HP, Grognak? After the fight,
You
with the
don't have a
dire
right
rat?
hand.
I
What is
can not
this?
do.
It's another left.
I know I was
Oh.
down a little bit, but
Curious.
I'm missing like 3.
Curious, sir.
So I'm like, yeah.
So you can take a short rest and regain your hit die of hit points.
Do that thing.
But I don't want to do that thing. Fine. Do that thing.
It's going to come down to
Oh, look.
sleep.
No tears, only dreams. All right.
So what are you doing, Drunk?
But Fallout
I am
3 is
going-
releasing soon,
I'm going to
Carl.
find the shattered hand. Probably Staniel again.
Stinky
The
digits.
broken hand. The
Shattered
stubbed
fist.
toe.
Stinky digits.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was the funniest one so far.
on that
Stick-
note-
Staniel specifically, because he told me about him.
Okay.
Staniel. Staniel. It's me again. Staniel.
Stop. Stay.
I'm back already, Staniel. This means something. Do you know what this means? Staniel.
For reals.
No, he doesn't know what this means.
Well, for one, he has the trunk hefts the coin purse.
That was what I was rolling to see if he figured out.
For one, you gotta keep better eyes on your purse.
For a thief, you don't pay much attention to your own shit.
To be fair, sir, I keep a pretty good eye on it when, it's just the general populace, but I didn't think I had to keep an eye on it with you.
Oh, there you go.
We are thieves,
No honor among, as they say.
right? I mean,
So
I'm
we're
gonna
clearly better than you are. Don't try to downplay
He's
it.
probably better than I am, but still.
He rolled like shit.
I mean,
Just
here-
that one time.
I mean, here you go. I'm just saying.
He secrets it away. You have absolutely no idea where it's gone.
That works for me.
Teastered it.
So, we... Yikes.
Whoa! It's like a vacuum seal.
Yikes.
Now you gave it back. You make sure you take that off your inventory.
And wash your fucking hands.
Well, no, if I take it again, I'll need to wash it.
Well, I mean, still, you would have touched it at some point. These keysters.
I didn't pull it out of his ass.
Are you sure?
And I,
Hey, is this a
I gave him a
drawstring
good
yank?
game, but I don't think I reached in.
Tingle in the butt?
So when you tap him on the butt,
Also,
it
I've been
jingles?
working on this. Jingle, jingle.
Yikes. Oh, this went south
It
bad.
really did.
And them hips don't lie.
Oh,
It really did.
So, you made mention of the what's-her-faces. I am terribly bad with names today.
Use your
Lollipop
words.
From the other town.
Elder Grove.
Elder Grovians, yes. You made mention of the Elder Grovians being in the Cheapside.
Lowlands. Yes.
yeah, cheap side.
I have reason to believe that the source of all the necromancy badness is coming from there.
Solid proof.
So what?
I'm gonna need you to burn it to the ground.
Well, what we're gonna do, you and I,
It's Pickett's church.
you and I, and some of the other boys, me and some of the dwarves are going to drum up some ruckus, and I want you to monitor who gathers with who. we have reason to believe it's some teenagers or some of the younger people.
As soon as you say the
children,
word
Some
teenagers,
goddamn millennials.
he grimaces.
First millennials.
Teenagers scare the living shit out of me.
Well, there might be a reason for it now.
Now I'm only thinking of that stupid song by My Chemical Romance.
Yep!
What?
That's why I said it.
Teenagers.
Alright, getting back into it, Trump.
You know.
You were speaking with Stan, trying to get a couple of guys together. How many do you want?
I would like at least 3.
Including Stan?
Yes.
Okay, so Stan plus 2 more.
Yes.
Okay. You've got him?
So we're going to drum up some ruckus. You're going to pay attention to who goes to where. Pay special attention to the younger adults and older teens.
What kind of ruckus did you have in mind?
But we're just going to ask bluntly who's doing bad stuff.
Interesting.
It wasn't my idea. My idea was to get you guys. Even though that wasn't my idea either.
A subtle approach. I like it. Alright. So
you take your way to get there. I'm going straight in.
And you'll get to Scotland before them?
No, they'll probably... They know the place better than I do.
Alright. So, are you meeting back up with them?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all meet up?
I pack up all my fishing gear, and I've caught no fish.
Have you? Roll a fisherman check.
If I did, I released it anyhow.
Oh.
I was doing it just to burn time.
Sport fishing. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Bellhead,
Fly fishing scenario, because
you've gone back to
real.
the Undertaker with a cup of cooling poison tea. What are you doing?
Going to the back. Try to
You love going in the back door, don't you?
try to introduce it to the councilman's body.
You're going to meet with a little bit of confusion from the Undertaker. But he says, well, he's already dead. I guess you can't do more harm than is already done. But do be careful.
Well, I'm going to wash my hands.
All right.
But just like the variables, right?
If you say so. He continues doing what he was doing before. Whatever that might have been. Alright. Alright, go ahead and roll me a dexterity check. Let's see how this goes.
$14.
Okay. You dribble a little bit.
What about the tea, though?
You get a decent-sized mouthful in his mouth. Some of it runs down the corners and leaves sort of angry, red, swollen lines down the sides of his face. It disappears down his throat. You don't notice any of it in there anymore. You lay him back down, and you watch him. The body moves. The eyes open, and they are not the eyes of Councilman Carruthers. The whites have turned black.
Kill it.
And the pupil seems to be glowing with an unholy light. And the body says, "What is your order, master?"
Delightful. So that's how this works. You just lay there somewhere.
Wait here, please.
Yes. So,
So it's Bellhead.
You tell
Murder!
Murder! With us the whole time.
you tell the body to wait.
Cover.
It stays right where you tell it to be.
Undertaker's name?
Roy Emery.
Roy! Roy?
Yeah, coming.
I brought an unholy abomination into your place of business.
Sorry.
So, when you're lowering a casket into the grave, I'm assuming you have some rope. Is that true?
Yeah, certainly. It's a very nice elfish-made rope.
Good.
Well, I mean, beggars can't be choosers.
Racist till the end. Famous last words.
If you could get that, that would be great, because... reasons. Oh dear.
Get it quickly.
Oh boy, just... whoo!
Run! Run away! Don't die.
I'm gonna choke on my apple.
Jesus.
What is your name? I'm addressing the...
I have no name.
Oh, even better. You can't call them the wrong thing.
Damn it.
What am I waiting for?
Orders.
Further instructions from me specifically. No one else.
Ever.
Got that?
Yes, master.
Perfect. A thought occurs to me. Could you stand up, please?
The body shifts. It tries to sit up, ends up more or less falling with a certain lack of grace. Feet first. It, sort of rolls off the table. Imagine from Young Frankenstein, Mr. Hilltop hopping off the table, nice hopping.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of.
That's exactly how that goes. I have completed your order, master.
No, die.
And then he collapses.
God damn it.
He's only good for one order.
Poke.
Poke it with a hammer at your hand. Jesus, throw it.
God damn it, you wasted it.
Poke.
We have
It
more tea.
doesn't respond.
The power of Lord.
And some hot water!
Roy busts in. He's got the rope. What? Hot water? Yes. Oh,
How did I get there?
well, there'll be some post-mortem bruising, I'm afraid.
Some
Drops the rope, runs off for the hot water.
Here.
Rendezvous.
Boinking the dead guys.
Jesus.
Diamond Blast.
Tune in next week.
To Dan and Blast.
Yeah, what time do you guys have to depart?
He needs to go sooner than I do. He has to wake up stupid early tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, Matt.
Yeah, probably about 9ish.
Alright, you got 13 minutes.
Ish.
I'm just gonna sort of try to get that back up there. Tie it up.
Roll me a strength check.
My best.
Somehow, you fail this all.
The phrase dead weight hardly does this justice.
17.
Somehow, you are...
With the help of
Enhanced.
the Undertaker,
It looks even worse now.
you're stronger than you look. Stronger than you thought you were. And you managed to get him back up on the table.
A renewed sense of interest, perhaps.
Do I have any sense about the state of the gentle repose? With my
You would have
familiarity with the ritual and its effects.
You'd have to roll me. What do you got? You got it.
Religion, perhaps?
Medicine. Roll me a medicine check.
Natural 20 plus 7.
The gentle repose has gone away.
Damn it. Try using the poison.
It's not to bring the gentle repose back.
There may be something to the order. I brew another cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Glug, 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 glug.
Shit gets broken
He's
head.
all mummified at this point.
Uh-huh.
It's because I'm a little weirded out. And then I watch for that period of time.
The Undertaker is watching with rapt interest to see what you're doing.
Not too close.
Oh. Takes a few steps back.
I didn't knock him off the table last time. To be specific.
He takes a much larger step back. So you're watching, and nothing happens.
Mouths the phrase, what the actual fuck?
Alright. Well, it's either a one-shot or there's a peculiar combination involved. Wait here. Not too close. Hopefully the ropes will hold. Bye.
The Undertaker is sputtering, and you hear him come out behind you and slam the door and lock it, just in case.
It's legit. I go to the temple. I get the guy.
The one who is mortified at the mere thought of anything dealing with necromancy. You're gonna go get that guy when you're trying to bring someone back from the dead.
Charis opens the door. Says, "Welcome to the temple." Oh, it's you.
What kind of welcome is that? Oh, it's me.
No offense, my dear sir. I'm terribly sorry, but that other dwarf that was here with you, the one with the black hair and the eye patch, she seemed to be unnaturally interested in evil things, and it just really did not sit well with me. I've had an upset stomach ever since he left.
Curious. Well, there's no accounting for trunk. Anyway, I'm looking for the brother,
The old guy.
beard. I mean, a little wispy, but beard. Sort of bent over.
Oh, you mean Brother Grimbald again? Yes, of
Oh,
course.
yeah. Need another gentle repose as it occurs. But,
Has someone else perished?
well,
In a manner of
yes and no.
Alright.
I wouldn't say that the first one didn't take, but didn't last very long.
I broke it.
Doesn't have
Exactly,
that.
I
Doesn't have that dwarven.
Oomph.
Yeah.
Alright.
And cast this one with some sovereign glue on it.
He
Try to make
makes
this
his
one permanent.
Permanently so.
feeble way out. Twice in one day. Look, Charis, I'm getting out of the temple twice in one day.
You made this fucker's
I,
month.
I'll make an appropriate donation. Yes, that seems reasonable.
Here you go, big sign of Morden.
I made you this.
Please, put it on your
You
altar.
rolled all ones. You suck.
I know.
Excuse me.
That's not what you do.
Quit fiddling with my dice, fucker. I had it just how I wanted it.
Alright, so, moving right along.
Uniformity.
So we do that. He does that.
He comes back. Casts gentle repose.
Bastard.
Doesn't feel familiarly bony. So I guess that's good.
And then ends up, going back
Probably
to the temple.
Cherish helps him over there or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So they leave.
They leave.
I'm
Watching the buddy. How long are you watching the buddy?
a good long time.
Okay.
So you could probably...
Duly noted. Really? Alright. So, you three. You have reconvened.
Yes.
You've put away your makeshift fishing pole.
Yes.
The certain members of the Shattered Fist are finding good locations to be unnoticed in the lowlands.
Delightful.
What are you going to do now?
I suggest to the group that we go into the encampment area, whatever you want to call it, and that we specifically, intentionally, only speak to the older adults in the group.
Okay.
Intentionally. And we don't really even acknowledge.
So after he
Anyone
says that,
younger than
I'm going to run up
adults.
to the first oldest person I see, grab them, and ask them if they're practicing dark magic.
God damn it.
Jesus Christ. I mean, it'll work, but it's going to be just obnoxious as shit.
Are you a necromancer?
Tell me who is.
Alright, so, you see a little old lady.
Yep.
God damn it.
It's always the little old lady.
She's the candle maker.
The
Way to
poor-
go.
Poor little old lady.
Candle of death.
I have him take one of my candles over.
And you start very aggressively asking her questions.
Yep.
She starts screaming and asking for help.
Help!
Help! Someone help! I'm being savaged by a dwarf!
Well, must not be you. And then I'm going to take off and run to the next old person.
Do you set her down gently?
I wasn't picking her up. I was just going to go grab her.
Oh, okay.
God damn
Reach out, grab by the shoulders, and shake a little bit, and
Yeah.
Okay.
question roughly.
One of you two. Do you stop him? Because he's kind of a menace.
Yes.
Just wiggle and waddle.
Can you stop me?
I
I mean, first off, can you catch me?
Sneak attack.
mean, all I gotta do is shoot your knee.
Used to be a terrible force of nature, and then I took an arrow to the knee.
So, you'll have to roll against us. So for a 17, I convince him to stop.
That's not
How?
this
What
works.
are you rolling for your
That's
convince
not going to
check?
convince me to stop.
Persuasion check. Okay.
You can't just PC roll.
Can't what? What did you say to me? Well, he has to roll the opposed to see if he's going to believe me.
Oh, you're lucky that wasn't a 20.
You gotta convince him.
Yeah. So you need to stop your wrecking shit.
No. They'll run
The
away.
things you're doing are bad.
No, you're good.
You are bad.
Tisk tisk.
Hey,
I'm good at this causing a ruckus, trust me.
I will
bands
tut.
you like.
Don't make me tut.
I'm good at causing a
Here's the
ruckus,
king.
trust me.
We agree with that.
wrong
You are
kind of ruckus.
You are incredibly skilled at your particular version of ruckus. However, not the kind of ruckus we were hoping for. So I'm going to need you to rein it in all the way.
Dial it back to a -3 at
That's
least.
not gonna happen.
Apologize to that old lady.
Yes. Well,
Go
actually,
find Bellhead. Okay, we'll handle this.
yes. Trunk, if you could sell
I'll try
such
to
the old
smooth
lady.
I'll smooth the old lady. Like
roll
literally
me-
smooth out
roll
her
me.
face.
Stretching it out.
Shush.
It's okay, Barbara.
Roll me an old lady smoothing check.
It's okay, Barbara Walters. Calm down.
What am I?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. That's a 8.
Really?
Yep, I have 0 persuasion.
You're a terrible rogue.
Calm
Yep.
down, you wrinkly old
I'm a
bag.
great persuasion. I'm just not.
Josh you
Just
swallow
right
that-
out. Just
You swallow that Coke, damn you!
swallow that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Who am I playing footsie with? You're not my
Me.
husband.
That was almost everywhere.
That would have been worth it.
And that would have been spilt pop all over the place on the table again, and it would have been your fault.
Again.
I mean, there were long and tortured rationale there, Johnny Trevi Fountain.
What?
Trying to think of a famous fountain, and I belly flopped it. All
You're
right.
just all over the place on that one.
You're killing me with that. Sausage fountain guy. Jesus.
All right.
So anyhow, so your face smoothing, how's that working out for you?
I'm
Not-
literally face smoothing. at this
Not super well. Shh.
just petting, just like in an
I'll go
awkward
tell her to
hug.
calm down for
I'm
an 18.
Stroking her hair.
That's with the persuasion bonus.
What'd you do?
I'm better at persuading
You
people.
riled
You're
her
going to
up.
have disadvantage on that, I'm
Right?
afraid.
Yeah, I was gonna say she trusts you less.
That was
That's actually better.
How the fuck
we're
does
sticking
that
with
work?
the 18. So Grognek apologizes profusely,
Can't live
and the
much
little
longer
old
anyway.
lady,
It's not gonna be.
the little old lady calms down and says, "Oh, I guess that's all right. You didn't mean anything by it. Just don't let it happen again, young sir."
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's what you do. You slap her on the ass. Good game.
Good game. Steal her purse.
Okay, later. Next person.
It's just full of exclusively old lady handkerchiefs. Handkerchiefs?
Cheers.
So I ask her about necromancy.
Ooh.
Are you a necromancer by any chance?
If I was a necromancer, I wouldn't have lost my husband so many years ago.
Well,
I
maybe you
could
did to a
have
spell,
brought him back.
Maybe it inspired you.
right?
No.
Do you know anyone around here who is or might be a little, a little shady,
Well, speaking of shady, there's...
not counting us?
No,
She looks at Grogner.
So no, I already took off.
Oh, okay. I'll catch back up with you
She
in a
looks at
second.
Grognak.
To the next person.
Twin fire trails leading
Yeah.
to the theater.
right to the monarchy side.
Well, shady, they're those young boys. They dress strangely, and they wear a holy symbol for a god that I don't think is a good god.
Can you draw that symbol for me?
Or a rough.
She,
Yeah, or-
she,
Or what you can remember of it?
So,
I mean, try to keep your
Squiggly
palsy in
lines.
check while you
I
do
was gonna
it.
say yeah. So she's got Bell's palsy and Parkinson's.
All right.
So
And Parkinson's. Nice.
she's all over the
she
place.
uses her cane, which is a basically sort of a gnarled stick that has sort of a natural handle on it.
Shillelagh. You
And
almost got
she
shillelagh.
draws in the dirt a T, like the letter T, attached to a circular shackle.
I'm not. Well, I don't get out, so I have no idea.
Hold
what
on a
this
second.
is.
Let me- It's probably too late, but let me do... She does alright. She does alright. It's not like... It's obvious what she's trying to draw. It just doesn't come across real well.
Okay.
Because she's got the palsy.
Of course she is.
All right. Well, you be careful. Thank you very much.
Don't be dying.
Appreciate it.
Shoot with his hand.
So I feel like
I give her a pat on the ass.
there you go.
Ooh, cheeky.
I tell
You got some cheekies.
I tell Trunk focus.
You are a genius.
Yikes.
I tell Trunk. Well,
Smooth your face again. Son.
Meanwhile, while there's talking to this old lady, I'm down harassing like 3 more people.
Oh my god.
I
leaving a trail.
I know. I
Like
told
overturned
Trunk.
cards,
Clearly,
screams,
we're
all
doing
that.
good with this. He is not. We need to get up there.
Yes. What?
Like, let's
Just
go.
leave him.
Okay. On your moving through the lowlands, there is a spot in the particularly lowest of the lowlands where there's a bunch of like makeshift tents. that are constructed.
Tent city. It's always a shithole.
There's a tent city, and then, like, a good 20 yards away from all the other tents is a black tent.
Well, I'm going to the black
God
tent.
damn it.
Of course he is. So, for a
Just
16...
get in the middle and pull out the pole.
and watch the elephants go running away. So for a 16, do I see any of
Where they keep the
the
tigers.
members of the Thieves Guild that I am familiar with as I'm like looking over the area to see if I can eyeball any of them?
Yeah, you see one.
Okay, and is he?
God damn it, Rodney.
Does
It's
he?
not Rodney.
Does he see me?
They're the most
Does
visible.
he see me looking at him? Kind
Yes.
of thing.
Yes.
Is he giving me
They
anything to
wanna
work
clear.
off of, like a gesture of like these people over here, or
He's giving-
fucking why are you looking at me, you stupid dwarf?
He's,
Like
he's giving you sort of a wide-eyed look, and like he'll look at you, and then he'll look in the direction that Grogneck is going, where
Yeah.
there is a mounting volume of
just have it.
disquieted
Pretty sure a fire has started.
civilians.
Shit.
All of a sudden, I see a flame snake head pop up. Like shit,
Oh, what
we
have
gotta
we done?
go.
What have we done?
We've loosed him in public. We should have done it.
God damn it.
So
We used all our rope
Yeah,
already.
Waka chicka, waka chicka, waka
Booking
chicka,
it.
waka chicka.
You're all booking it. Still too slow.
$6 million manning it.
yes,
$6 million dwarf. So, it's a black tent. It's not a big tent.
I'm gonna go investigate the tent.
Okay,
well, we should set it on fire.
roll me an
first.
investigation check.
That's what. Yeah, that's what he does. Just walks up and flame
11.
snakes.
That's only 13.
Okay, for a 13, were you there when the old lady... No, you had left.
Yeah,
You
probably.
left. Okay. So on this tent, it's not a, like, super great tent. It's a pretty cheap tent, and you can tell that somebody did a really crappy job of trying to dye the fabric black. But
They see a tent and they want to dye it black.
hanging from, like, the front
A red.
support pole
And they want to
is
dye
a
it black.
small sort of... It's metal, but it's been, tempered in the fire so that it is blackened, and it is a T in a circular shackle.
And conveniently, it reeks of.
Well, I have no idea what religion that
Is
is.
that a knowledge religion
God
check?
damn it.
You are
Smells
convinced
like clove cigarettes. And
that this is the
Clothes and patchouli.
Oh Jesus!
That could be to my own god for all I know. That's a 1, so.
yeah.
We're like a
Well-
one-stop shop of racial jokes and slurs. It is we're quite terrible.
You are pretty
Goths aren't
sure
our race.
They're
that
not real people.
that is the
Except the
holy
Goth girls.
symbol.
And patchouli is
For-
terribly disgusting.
Yes, it's
No matter
fucking
what Taliesin
hideous.
Jaffe says.
Trying
Love
to
you,
pick a good
Percy.
one here.
God
I
damn
love
it.
you, Percy. Like, what is that about?
No Mercy Percy, still my favorite.
You should see the last episode. My God.
All right.
Trying to.
You are convinced that that
Yeah.
is the holy symbol for
Percy had
Coralon,
mercy.
the god of magic and the arts.
Shut up.
Oh, I can make it worse.
So, you guys, you
Was
two,
Sarah-
catch up to him.
Would you stop being you?
No! Never!
I'm
Hey,
gonna-
check this thing out!
Hey,
What
that
is
thing.
What is that? Trunk, what is that?
Which is investigation? That's you. God damn it.
Yeah. I
I was gonna say, why is my investigation
Probably roll
suddenly?
a religion check.
Why is my investigation suddenly -1?
Because you're old.
Well, the investigation would be 22. If it's religion, it's 20.
It would be a knowledge religion.
It's a 20.
Like, just to investigate it, you can tell, like, what kind of metal it is, because you're a dwarf and you know these things.
I don't need that.
So, knowledge religion, this is the holy symbol of Torog, god of the Underdark.
Toe-rag, huh?
Yep. You know that he
Stub toe.
has death as one of his domains.
Interesting.
So, Trunk, what is it?
This is toe-rag.
Filthy Duragar.
Bless
Literally
you.
No, it's not. It's Coraline.
Torog.
Torag.
Coraline?
When you
I'm
say,
just calling it
whenever
Coraline.
you say whatever it is you say, I say bless you. Now, what is it?
Torag.
Oh, you're actually intentionally
Yes,
saying that.
yes. It's a god of death.
Who's god of death? We don't have a god of death.
Fuck if I know.
Do we
Are you
have a
being
god of death?
stealthy?
Not especially.
Okay.
These
When you-
assholes in
It's a
this
10
tent right here.
It's a 10 total. I mean, we were the force that was meant to drum up trouble. So
Yeah.
not really.
What did you just say?
Who's our god of death?
Torag.
So at the mention of
Duragar.
Torog,
Torag.
the flap is whipped aside on
Right.
the front of this tent, and
I tackle them.
And attack.
Are you even going to let me tell you what you see?
And attack.
Sure, but I'm probably going to tackle him anyways.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I was going to grab him and pull him out.
That would have been a little bit better than just
Better than
draw
grabbing
draw us into the one.
Right?
One
Stop being grog.
That's better than grabbing him and pulling him off.
Philip the Terrible. So
You can edit that out.
the flap whisks aside and a head pokes out. This head has very, very pale but very spotty skin.
Mascara.
A little bit,
Yeah.
but you're not there. Shut up.
I'm just spitballing.
This is eyeliner.
You're going to assume that it's charcoal, and really sort of stringy, greasy black hair.
Is there a beard?
No.
Is it female?
It's not old enough for a beard.
Grognak, grab it.
Well, I was already going to do that, so...
Don't tackle, grab.
As soon as the head pops out, it starts to speak to you.
Oh.
So, you want to learn about Torog, do ya?
Torag?
It's pronounced Torog.
Bless you.
Totally metals.
You know what?
Totally
Let me handle this. I got this. I'll,
Are you sure?
I got this. I mean, I'll be right here. You'll be right here.
I give Grognak the let's take a step back and watch Trunk work.
So tell me, put an arm around the shoulder, turn him around and lead him back inside. So tell me about this Torag.
God bless you.
He says, come downstairs.
Downstairs.
Upstairs in a tent? What the fuck?
Because it's the only place he knows where to live.
So, sure enough, inside the tent, there's like a really shitty looking, half moth eaten rug. Flips the rug aside. There's a hole in the ground that leads down.
There's not any rats in this hole, is there?
There is light coming from the hole, and you hear two other somewhat masculine voices.
Interesting.
There are a bunch of nerds down there playing D&D. Is that what's the cause of all of this death and misery?
Well, if you ask my mother.
The hole
They
is...
call it mazes and monsters, by the way.
Mazes and Monsters. I feel like that's a better
It was a movie.
title.
It was a movie starring Tom Hanks.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he Wait, Tom Hanks. Wrong guy. Thinking of Tom Cruise.
The hell?
Not
sorry.
even kind of
I'm
close.
sorry! Pregnancy brain! My brain has turned into mashed potatoes! It's the worst!
Mashed potato brain.
That sounds pretty good.
Right?
Sounds
I could make one for
delicious.
Halloween. It would be a thing. You just have to basically turn it into gnocchi by adding some flour to it to stiffen it up and then roll it and then make a brain
What?
out of it.
Why do you keep looking at me? Your wife's the one talking about mashed potato brains, for fuck's sake. If anyone's derailed us now, it's her.
Yeah,
She's the
it's
DM.
totally me. I'm sorry.
I'm just sitting over here sitting here
It's
playing.
I mean,
I'm
usually,
not even sure what I'm playing, but
usually it's not her fault.
I blame
grant
Dave.
you that.
throwing a D20 in my hand. That's,
I blame Dave.
Sure, why not?
Alright, so there's
Pocket ballers.
basically
I don't know.
it's just
Oh,
do you
but-
go down the hole first of
Yeah,
all?
I'm going down the hole.
Okay, you go down the hole. It's a bit of a tight squeeze for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Because built for little girls.
The guy that you're walking with, he's tall, but he's lanky, and he's sort of, hunched at the shoulders. So it's kind of a very narrow sort of passageway, and you've got sort of broad dwarven shoulders, and it doesn't really agree with your physique.
So how do you guys dance? Is it a lot of staring at your shoes, or? Never mind. Tell me about Toe Rug.
So he starts spouting off some thing about how the greatest mystery in life is death. It's the only thing worth worshipping. And he continues to expound this sort of nonsense. You get down, and it's not very far down. It's a short little pathway. And there is a lantern hanging from a hook on the ceiling. The ceiling is the floor of the tent above you, and it is supported by a rather large beam. And then the beam has a branch coming out, and the lantern's hanging from it. And there are two other people sitting there, and they're clearly performing some sort of ritual. So, yeah, they look like they're engaged in trying to perform some sort of ritual.
My guy ran away. It's underneath Jeff's chair.
Oh, well then you're never getting it back in?
Yeah, never going back.
You can see it. Just kicking it. Aha!
Performing a ritual.
They're trying to.
Now I can play basketball again.
They keep having to consult a sort of stained and pitiful-looking spell book, and the one kind of squints at it and gets it up real close, and he says, "No, I'm telling you, it says sugar bubba." And then the other one argues over the pronunciation, and they're not making it very far. They've got like they've got the holy symbol sort of drawn out in the dirt, and they have a black candle at each point of the intersections, and...
Are they going to try to stop me if I go over to the book?
The book is with them, and they're actively holding it and looking at it.
Oh. Well, I'm going to sidle up next to somebody.
Now, you're wearing primarily black, right?
Yeah. Blacks, dark browns.
Okay.
What do I need to try to read that? It's a 19 on the dice.
How close are you?
I sidled right up next and leaning over.
You can... Aside from the fact that the handwriting is like the chicken scratches of a chicken with the worst case of Parkinson's disease ever.
Dr. Chicken in an earthquake.
Dr. Chicken in an earthquake with a vibrator strapped to its butt.
Yikes!
Wow.
Yeah, very buzzy.
You can read it. You can make out that...
Pronunciation is what I'm going for.
Unfortunately, what languages are you familiar with?
Not any.
He's going into arrest, Dr. Chicken. What do we do?
Chicken Boo, what's the matter with you?
Yeah, the way this prints out, it cuts off my languages.
Dwarvish?
I think it should be just common and Dwarvish.
Okay, you can't really speculate as to the pronunciation because you are not familiar with the language.
Okay.
But it is Chicago.
And none of us are.
Do I have any insight as to, or better guess as how it should be spoken? A better guess.
No. Not without knowing the language, you really can't even speculate on it. You can make some shit up and try and get them to believe that you're right.
You guys talking about Chicago over there?
Have you been successful yet in any of your rituals?
And at this, the bickering stops, and they both look up at you. And the other guy's sort of leaning up against one of the earthen walls, arms crossed over his chest, looking moody. The one says,
His boyfriend was rough on him
Oi.
last time.
Sherman, who's the new guy? New recruit brought to the cause? And Sherman, who was apparently the one who brought you down here, says, he's interested in Torog. Proper new acolyte, if I do say so myself.
Sean cannot stop himself from laughing out loud.
I'm pretty sure I can.
I rolled a 3. My attempt was to not laugh out loud.
You're not drunk.
Oh, wow. I have taken a complete mentor.
Oh,
I
Also,
meant Jets Ruley.
did you follow
Followed,
them
yes.
down the stairs?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
Hence
we
why I'm
did?
yelling Chicago behind them like a jackass.
Chicago.
And he said proper new acolyte, and I couldn't hold in my laughter. That roll was an attempt to hold in the laughter, and I rolled a 3.
Yep.
The jig is up, as it were.
Your jig is up.
So,
I brought a sacrifice.
I'm happy to know you like the cut of my jib.
alright. So, the kid who asked the question looks dubious. And then looks at you. You look like a scary individual. You'll fit in quite nicely.
I intentionally kind of look at him in a weird way, where I lower my eyes almost to a squinting level, not quite shut, but not like very obviously open, and then I just to make it as weird as possible.
Scary individual. Like, I'll fit in what, like a contrast?
He leans in,
You
takes hold of
geeks.
your hand,
You're right.
just
He's,
nuzzles up next to you.
That would break every bone in his body.
The initial shock gives way to speculation.
Seemed like a normal response to me.
That's what you're used to getting when you try and come on to somebody.
Right.
He's Jara honeying this.
Oh, Jesus.
I really am.
Speaking of the jar, honey, do I still have that?
You do.
So, where are you, by the way? Did you come down?
Yeah, I
too?
guess I'm following him.
All
I
right.
mean,
At least he's not causing
So I
ruckus.
describe to the Torag group
Okay.
the dream. I go into gross detail about the hellscape and the horrors. The fiend.
Anyone we know?
No,
Jesus, Henry Christ.
just a general fiend.
Too bad, A.
It's
Now
gone.
it says Google.
yeah, now it's
You
just
broke
Google.
it.
Too bad, A, you didn't drop that in the mug. Too bad, B, the mug wasn't full.
Just a general fiend.
It's a pit. Okay.
Describe that guy to him.
They are
And I'll ask you again, what have you guys done?
wrapped with interest.
Like,
Well, we're trying. You know, it's hard. This undercommon, it's ridiculous, and I don't know who wrote this nonsense.
Undercommon.
Hand me a napkin. I'm bleeding.
Did you knock it off?
Yes, undercommon.
Either of you, Sprechen?
The undercommon.
I
Is
wish.
he undercommon? No.
No.
I don't think I have bonus languages given that I have a -1 to intelligence.
I'm pretty
actually-
sure I have
Nope.
bonus languages, although I don't know what they are.
They should be on your sheet.
No, it says that I speak Dwarvish and Common. That's it.
No, you have more than
We
Yeah,
made you
we-
pick them.
We did make you pick them.
Well, that was one of your things, as being of noble background. You had multiple languages. Yeah, mine say Common and Dwarvish. I thought I had another one, though.
I have a +1, but I don't know if I actually took one. And at this point, it'd be metagaming, so.
I speak undercommon.
Because we found out that you spoke Orcish. I just don't know.
Yeah, because there was a...
Yeah, but it's not. They're not on here.
I'm pretty sure you didn't pick undercommon.
Uno momento por
Yeah, it's just-
favor.
That just has order.
I don't know what it is.
How
but
many
this
languages
style
are you
character
supposed
sheet
to
that
have?
just doesn't
I
print
thought
right,
you had 3 or 4 languages.
He's got 3.
because it matches the way how many
For fuck's
languages
sake,
and
come on.
companions together.
And if you go by that thing says a whole bunch of dumb shit.
No, you have 3 languages: Common, Dwarvish, and Orc.
So nobody here speaks Undercommon, so
Where
nobody
Where
can
did you
read.
find this book?
They look around sort of conspiratorially. Can they be trusted?
The campus bookstore.
I
in the
have
Undercommons.
already taken over the Thieves Guild in this town.
Oh.
I will take over your little cult here if I have to.
The shit shack.
Roll an intimidate
or
check.
I'll just break you. I mean, there's always that option. I could just break them.
So Trunk has been killing councilmen so that he can be the council. That's a lesson.
17. I might actually intimidate somebody this time.
Well, you should. It's a bunch of girls.
Well, you definitely intimidate 2 out of the 3. The 2 that were performing the ritual are unnerved. The one that brought you down the stairs is amused because he knows what you're trying to do.
The amused one, I'm going to break him.
Like, right now?
Yes,
Rob, he's yours.
I'm going to break him.
When he says he's yours...
Well, he's not, like, laughing out loud. He just knows what you're up to, and he's smarter than his friends, and he's going to...
I'm not even sure.
I'm
what
probably
up
not
to.
going to break him.
What
Pretty
are you...
sure 11 doesn't grab him or anything.
No.
When he says... When Trunk tells Grognak about the guy, I instinctively just reach back and pull the old war axe out. I just wait. And
Well,
I keep
okay.
staring at the guy I did the kissy face with.
I'm gonna need
Just
that.
giving him the straight
He
blade.
starts eyeballing your war axe. He says, that is wicked.
Come closer. I want to show it to you.
Pay careful
Does he
attention.
do it?
He unfolds himself from the floor and comes
God.
closer.
Delightful.
God, don't kill him.
I make 0 promises.
He's made almost entirely of elbows.
He's got like 37 elbows.
You just broke my brain. I'm trying to like, what the fuck's a lot of bumps? I don't know what's going on here.
He's very bony is what he's getting at.
All right.
Pay close attention to the shaft.
Exactly.
That's what
So
she
what I
said.
want to do is, as he's coming up close to me, I'm holding it parallel to the ground. And as he's starting to walk closer, I'm going to rear back, come up across, and stop the blade right before it hits him right in the face.
All right, that's going to be.
Assuming I don't
make the check.
This is going to be a dexterity saving
You're gonna
throw.
cleave him in half.
1!
God damn it.
Can you see it now, fucker?
You want hardcore? That's hardcore.
And then start fisting the open gaping wound.
Totally metal.
Oh,
That's a callback.
We just brought fisting in.
That's a callback. You stab him until you can get your fist in there.
I brought it full circle for you, Jeff. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, what was that?
A dexterity saving throw.
Dex. Okay.
It used to be a 12, but then he shook the table.
Oh,
It was a 12 on the die, and
Okay.
then he...
so that would be a 13.
a 13.
What's his AC? 4? Okay, he's dead.
No.
Okay,
You're starting to like it.
so you bring the thing down, and you're trying to stop it just the barest fraction from his head.
Yes.
He doesn't realize that you're trying to stop it.
He just falls.
He goes to take a very alarmed step back, trips, and falls backwards into the candles.
Oh dear.
Even better. Yes.
Oh,
He's
dear.
got-
Like, where are you going,
He's
sweetie?
got a very fine little slice right in the forehead.
Jesus Christ, Jazz.
He wanted to see it. I was
God.
giving him a closer view.
God
It's
damn it.
dark in here. Would you guys turn on some flipping lights?
Now,
What? You want some lights?
do you have a greater respect for the wrangling the old man has to put up with?
Now about that book.
The other kid,
Starting to wipe the blood off the blade like nasty human blood.
The other kid is sort of holding
Wiping out
the
your
book,
neck.
looking at his friend who is now starting to smolder from the spilled candles. He looks
No.
at Jazgruli sort of in
Wipe it on
awe,
their blood robes.
and then
Better idea.
looks at his friend on the ground, and then looks back at Jazz, and then looks at you and says,
We need that.
"He almost killed him."
Wouldn't be the first.
Or the last.
He's looking at you with, like, awe and sort of hero worship at this point.
I rub the blood on that guy's robes.
You got a fangirl.
Just rub his
Right.
friend's blood on the... There you go. That's for you.
Well,
Well, the other guy's gonna have a nice scar now.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
gonna be cool.
so
Chicks dig it.
Sherman, who's still leaning up against the wall, also now a little wide-eyed and some of the smirk wiped off of his face, is, "Well, what do you need the book for?"
So we're trying to find actual necromancers
And for murder.
for murder.
Well, necromancers don't just murder people. They usually kill them to bring them back as an undead army. That's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah, somebody came back.
Here?
Yes. In this
And
town.
now he's doing that in front of you.
It's being super vague, okay? It could be anyone.
You know what the old man's wishes are.
Somebody came back.
A significant look transpires between the one who's not currently pissing himself and
Weeping like a
Sherman.
bitch on the floor.
God damn it.
the other one sort of wipes the blood off of his head and tries to stand back up. He comes and grabs you by the shoulders and says, "When did this happen? It is vitally important that we know."
Today? This morning.
Tuesday.
This morning, he looks at the other guy and says, "Erethan, do you have the notes on the pronunciation that we were using this morning?" He pulls out notes and things, and papers just go all over the place.
Johnny Babcock. What?
Also, the pronunciation was Gargam.
Oh no, you see, we can't give you the book. If it's working,
Who did you try to bring back?
well, there was a rat.
Oh, it wasn't a rat that came back.
Well, the rat didn't come back. He's over there. The dead rat in the corner.
Charming.
It's not a dire rat. It's just a regular rat.
It's about to be a dead you.
They were trying to bring the rat back, and it didn't work.
And you did that this morning. Where did you do that? Right here?
Right here.
Right here.
We do it every morning.
Wait, what?
They've been going through this book and attempting the spells, but they're having difficulty with the pronunciation.
Interesting.
What a load of jackasses. I should have hit that one
You should
full
have.
force.
Yeah.
Really should have.
Hey, Grog. You want to get Belhad? He's. I don't trust them to stay put. Wow, what
Do you want demons?
Because
Because this is how you get demons.
Well,
How you get demon
You're the
jiggles.
fastest.
damn it.
That's the trade-off.
I'm totally punching that guy.
Go
Which,
on my way
which
out.
guy?
The one that I was attempting to tackle and missed. And I'm pretty sure 18 will hit him.
Yeah, an 18 will hit him.
He's just angry, just wham, and just walks out.
Charlie Horse and
just angry. What?
What the fuck, mate?
So now we've injured 2 out of 3 of them.
Nice.
You're the only one who hasn't assaulted anyone in this.
And that was the one that was
Yeah,
being
shit,
all
shit,
snarky, so, you
Yeah.
know.
They're paying more attention to me than my parents ever have.
It always comes down to daddy issues.
Right.
Either too many hugs or not enough.
All right, so they don't want to give you the book.
That's why I sent Graug out.
Because Belhad's going to somehow convince them to give you the book?
Nope.
Well, Belhad will be able to have better insight.
Gotcha.
We need Belhead to understand the damn book.
Right.
Like, that's what that is. He needs to look at the book.
I am shocked.
Plus, it'll be...
Shocked that I do not have comprehend languages as a spell.
Plus, it'll be more numbers on our side.
Gotcha. All right.
Not that I think this group's going to put up much of a
Right.
serious fight if the need arises.
They're all three of them are now sort of talking excitedly amongst themselves. The one kid's got blood just dripping down the side, the front of his face, going down one side of his nose.
Talk
He
to him
doesn't
about how-
seem to notice.
Talk to him about how that's going to make an excellent scar.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you pick at it a lot. That'll encourage it to scar up.
Yeah, you'll look like a pregnant lady, but just on your forehead.
Instead of the belly. Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
of course, I didn't give him just a skew. It's absolutely vertical, perfectly, like someone just drew a fucking line on his face.
Yep. So that's
To
a
be
thing.
properly jaunty, it's got to go through an eyebrow.
Right.
You
Yeah.
got to get cheek.
All right. So, Belhad is being brought. Are you doing anything else?
I start searching the place.
There's
Like, very conveniently, Bell had made his way back to where you think he is.
Where do you think
Which
he
is
is?
real convenient.
Where do old
I was
people
gonna go check the Undertakers,
That
so...
was where he was, because he was staring at the dead guy.
I am
Like,
going to try...
the last information you have was I was there. Then I went 6 places. And like the instant that you're going to come look for me, I happen to be back there. It's nice.
I'm going to try to read the book on my own.
Okay.
I just start muttering some of the passages to myself as best as I can pronounce.
Yeah, that'll be equally as effective. Let's just keep
I-
throwing spaghetti.
Gloople,
Right.
glargle, globble,
This won't go bad at all.
I tell him that probably he should wait and not
No.
say that stuff out loud.
It's fine, I'll do this.
And I'm asking these kids anything that I'm like, hey, what's in here? And I'm just flipping shit. Just,
Flip up one of the robes. What's in here?
yeah.
No, it's just all...
Everything is going everywhere. Like, I'm not intentionally thrashing the place, but I'm giving it a good tossle about.
All right. Well, in this particular area, there's not really much to throw around. Like, as you came through the tent on the upper side, there were, 3 bedrolls, and they're sleeping, uncomfortably close together because the tent itself is not very big. There was that sort of area rug that covered up the hole. And,
They're sleeping uncomfortably close together
yeah.
for
they're-
body warmth. Naked.
Uncomfortable for who?
And the same for themselves and others.
A lot of elbowing going on.
At least the
So,
20%
yeah,
elbow.
there's, their personal effects and everything was upstairs. Down here,
There's nothing.
it seems to be where they sort of carry out their rituals. Other than the lantern hanging from the ceiling and the dead rat in the corner, all that's down here are the candles that What's-His-Face fell over into.
So to help, being the kind of happy helper that I am, I intentionally walk over to the lantern and blow it out.
I'm trying to read here.
You have
got
dark
dark
vision.
Oh, that's right.
And then he keeps going.
Yes. I keep reading.
And I'm just walking around the room making the slightest amounts of noise intentionally. And occasionally, just if I feel like there's a rock protruding through what I assume is a dirt wall, I tap my axe on it just a little bit.
I'm reading the passages in a really low whisper.
Okay.
But the candles are still going, I'm assuming.
Some of them got put out when the kid fell on them.
Right, what I'm saying, there's still a little bit of ambient light, but it's not much at
Yes,
all.
it's not very
It's still
much.
creepy as fuck in there. And I start chanting the best I can chant. Oh, it was on 20 and rolled back to 2. Apparently I'm yodeling at this point. I was going for ambiance and I came out with just
Undulating?
radically just It's ridiculous.
Doing the Yoko Ono from
Yikes.
I Can Be Your Yoko
He's
Ono.
a Thuban throat singer. What is he, Bjork?
Anyway,
Sorry, Bjork. We love you.
We don't.
Not really, but
No.
I don't even
if
know
you're a
you.
fan, yeah.
But you're not. And we're not either, so it's whatever.
I mean, she's not bad.
I don't even know.
Not half bad, not half good, whatever. You know.
Anyway, so
She's not half bad. The other half
Belhad is
bad.
being brought back
The other half is.
into a pit, basically. The pit of despair.
It cannot be what you idiots call this. It's a hole in the fucking ground.
I want to see some proper digging.
Um,
Should hire that
So, yeah, we're
necromancer
gonna-
grave digger.
We're gonna go ahead and end the session there, and then we will pick up in 2 weeks with Belhad arriving with Grognek back.
I need to find out about this comprehend language
The
shit. 'Cause
group.
how can I not have comprehend language?